Yo, bro, like, what are they? Oh, I didn't see it. Was mostly trying to rage bait pink. Like, okay. I guess that's just what I signed up for. Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Reacted. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Time on episodes 5 and 6 of Season 3. Now, you might be like, why 5 and 6? Because let me just boom. Well, it's probably already up. Listen. 2 weeks ago, I watched episode 4, and then I saw a bunch of the comments pour in. And, you know, it's like, it's kind of like, being like, oh, I'm excited to go to the wood chipper factory today, but I'm a log. That's a little bit what it feels like to open the comments section, but like respectfully, you know what I mean? So a lot of essays in here. There are good thoughts. Actually, you know what? Overall, I think I'm pretty happy with the comment section. I'm pretty proud of y'all. A couple of y'all like, oh my god, look at this one at the bottom. Can you stop talking when you have an episode? Please, it is annoying. We're not even talking about Mushoku Tensei. We're just talking about the reaction format. I got bad news, bro. I used to be so much worse about that. And even then, that's like what people are signing up for. Like, if you don't want to hear me talk during the episode, watch the episode on your own and then listen to the discussion. You know, like that's what I'm here to do, bro. That's what you click on the video. That's the Anyways, let's just go a little by little. There's a couple things I wanted to talk about. So, this line I just thought was funny. I won't get into. I'm gonna be bouncing around a lot, so sorry if I'm not like being super like deep into each one. A lot of people are like kind of repeating each other, so that's kind of part of the reason. So tell me, what other goal has Rudy had besides his family? I was thinking about that, right? And you say like in season 1 is protecting Eris, in season 2 is finding his mother, blah blah blah. And the first thought I had was him being like, I'm so excited to groom Sylphie into my wife. You know what I mean? And it's like, the funny thing about that from season 1, which of course is not mentioned in the comment, is that like that is his goal towards having a family, but like him having a goal towards his family, I guess you're responding probably to me complaining that that's like what the wives do. You claim their entire character is simply being Rudy's sister. Yeah. So it's like a response to the wives thing. It's like you can do a family motivation well and you can do it poorly. I'm like not very engaged by the wives and their like family motivations towards Rudius because it feels like too worshipful and it's kind of like shallow in that way. Like, oh, you brought another wife home? Okay. Like where's the sauce, man? Where's the tea? You know, it's lacking substance, right? And then with Rudius like towards his family and like having a family, I think that's like I don't know. I think I'm pretty chill with that as his goal and motivation, though of course it does like have like the perverted undertones here and there, which are addressed to very varying degrees within the show. But yeah, that was just I think it's kind of funny. But yeah, other stuff. No, I didn't even read this one. Wait, let me read it. Okay, actually, W comment. Well. So like starts out like I'm not gonna lie, I read the first couple words of like I don't think there's such a thing as objectively better writing, and I was about to be like, oh, we're doing the like because okay, listen, I think you're right. I don't really believe in objective. This is getting too philosophical. It's getting a little too big for the britches of Mushoku Tensei. My TLDR is like, yeah, objectivity I don't think really exists, and if it does exist, then like there's no way for a subjective human to ever reach it. So it's like asymptotic. It's like something you strive for but you can never actually reach. Blah blah blah, but that doesn't mean that we shouldn't feel the like desire to try to like criticize things better, because like if you're just like, oh, it's all subjective, that kind of feels like you're like giving up on the game of criticism or of like making good art, right? Like it, and that's why like I don't think the subjectivity argument should be used to discredit commentary or discredit criticism, but I do actually kind of agree with the sentiment of like there is no such thing, but it's just like some subjective opinions have more like logic behind them or argumentation behind them than others, and then those are usually respected more by like the masses. Blah 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 blah. And so I don't think you should just like give up on the equation of like commentary entirely just because of like subjectivity. But yeah. And then you kind of talked about how you like I won't defend Rudy or say he deserves or doesn't deserve some things. I just think he's a very good protagonist. I don't mind that. The people that I mind are the ones that love thinking he's a good protagonist is like proper phrasing because you're keeping within the story. I'd probably disagree to a degree based on the anime, especially like based on just watching the anime. I think I would disagree, but I can like respect that opinion enough. But the people that think that like Rudy is like good or aspirational, like the more like surface level like Rudy lovers or whatever, those are the people that are like brain rotted out of their skull. You know what I mean? Or like the line of like the biggest theme of Mushoku Tensei isn't necessarily redemption or karma, it's causality. It's called like a jobless reincarnation, like such a I think there is a tone of redemption, right? Like, I think the show wants there to be a tone of redemption. It's constantly drawing comparisons between his like Chud past and his like Giga Chad present to show growth, right? That's redemption, right? I don't think it's just like causality. Oh, who we have to decide what good and evil is. I don't think it's doing that at really. I don't get that vibe. I think that's like, I think it's cope because the show doesn't succeed in doing redemption or karma, which despite I think how it kind of wants to be a redemption story, I think it like befuddles it enough by its writing that then it kind of leads you into having to like think it's causality. But I don't know. Generally, I think this is a good comment. I'll even heart it. I think that was good. I was ready to hate on this comment, but then I was like, oh, okay, I can respect it. Light novel, different perspectives, not Rudius. That's a classic. We've heard a couple times. I talked about this real quick. So real about Aisha. True. This was I really liked this point. And I absolutely think this is a true statement as to how I approach the story. It says, I think the core difference between you and a lot of the fans of this series is your level of trust in the author. And so, example with Aisha, low trust, this is what the author jorks to. Or look at how great Rudy is for not taking her offer. Mid trust, this is weird, but I'm not sure it's intentional or not. High trust, this behavior is indicative of trauma, but no one around gets that or knows what to do about it. It must be a setup for something later. I think you're absolutely correct. It's like, how much are you willing to invest in the story? And I think I'm like between low and mid trust. But like I'm like hopeful for high trust, right? Because there was another comment that I thought was great about this. Oh my god, do you see the hell that I live in, bro? Do you see the hell that I live in, bro? Like, oh my god, stop, please, please. Where is it? It was something about Aisha. Do I gotta control F Aisha? Oh my god, it just keeps going. I think I passed it. Oh, and you are not ready for some of these other comments, bro. Y'all are not ready for some of the fucking insane things people were saying in here. Okay, here. Like, this is the kind of statement, right? Where it's like, about Aisha. Her mother declared while she was pregnant that Aisha would be raised to serve Rudius, blah, blah, blah. Aisha's a bit broken because Lily is very broken. It's not okay. It's not supposed to be okay, blah, blah, blah. To which I kind of responded that the tone with the anime doesn't, I think, like, treat Aisha like a deep-rooted, broken, generational, like, servitude, trauma, like, learned helplessness, whatever the fuck you want to say. It doesn't treat Aisha in this way that you're talking about, despite how I agree with you, you know? Like, I agree that the Aisha situation is crazy, right? And that Aisha is impaired by it, you know? And there's deep-rooted psychological issues. I 100% agree with that. But the anime, I don't think, does a good job at expressing it like that, you know? And I don't trust that the anime is going to eventually, like, do something good with that and, like have, like, an interesting, like, conversation about it. It could, all right? I wouldn't bet on it, but I think I would love for it to. That would be wonderful. That'd be so cool, you know? And, like, you're kind of saying here, it doesn't help that the anime tone that Aisha has literally been trained to deliberately weaponize cuteness for her life, kind of saying that, like, the tone itself is part of, like, Aisha being like this. But, like, remember in season 1, like, Rudy perving was treated as a bit a lot of the time, right? Like, it'd be like, ooh, funny anime sounds, and, like, the music's all, like, dun, 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 and he'll be, like, grabby hands, right? It's, like, the very typical anime, lighthearted, jokey feel, and they would do that, like, 80% of the time, and then they would whip out, like Rudy with Eris in the bed for the first time, and, like, that wasn't treated like a joke. Right? You can feel the difference, you know? Sometimes they treat these kinds of problems in a jokey way that's, like, lighthearted, in which case you're telling the audience not to take it that seriously, where then other times they treat it very, like, kind of seriously. There's no, like, goofy sounds or whatever, and it's, like, a more serious moment, you know? Or, like Rudy and Eris having sex at the end of season 1. That was not a jokey moment. Like, there was none of that atmosphere around it. And so Aisha, I think part of the thing with Aisha is that, like, Aisha almost entirely feels like she is in that jokey like feel, which then makes it so it's like if the show's not taking her situation seriously and she's just kind of like oh, I'm an incest, I'm adding the incest tag to the tags of the story, you know? If the show doesn't take her that seriously, why would I take her that seriously? You know, like, you gotta convince me to, like, buy into the complexity. You gotta convince me to buy into, like, psychological depth, you know? Because I don't want to do all the effort on my own and just have to, like, write my own fucking, like, fanfic essay in my head about how deep it is when really the show doesn't have those conversations, right? It's also, fuck, I had another good point about that. Another W point, another genius exceptional point. Oh, I mean, and that's like the perfect comparison to the end of last season, which I thought like kind of like was annoying, where Roxy comes back with the whole like cheating thing going on with Sofieri. And this also applies to the Julie thing. I'll pivot to Julie right after. Like Roxy shows back up and Julie and a fucking Sofieri's there, Fitz, whatever the fuck we call her nowadays. And that never like nothing kind of happened, right? Like Sophie was just kind of like immediately chill with it. And then even like nowadays, like last episode, there was that kind of plot beat about her being like, oh, I bet Roxy's better in bed, lol. And like Sophie's got some like problems there. They're like trying to have some juice there. Oh, there was a funny comment about like he caught himself. I think the word was caught himself. I like what they're doing with that. I like what they're trying to do. Bro caught himself almost enjoying a scene. Nice reflexes with the save. Not literally, though. Yeah, because that's in context with how Sylphie was, like, we kind of got, like, a little glimpse into there being some, like, deeper feelings about, like, her not being, like, her feeling, like, a jealousy towards, like, how Rudy feels about Roxy. It's like, wow, it's almost like that's good writing. Where was that at the end of last season? Right? Because all we got last season was Norn got scapegoated for thinking it was wrong, and then everybody fucking mogged Norn for 3 episodes. And then my goat Norn, you know what I mean? Like, that actually is the interesting thing, right? Like, Mushoku Tensei, as a show, is really good at making interesting, complex, morally gray situations. It's actually really good at that, okay? Where I think it fails is I don't think it cracks those situations open to their full potential and actually, like, embodies them or, like, talks about them. I think the show fails to have a conversation with a lot of the, like, more complex, psychologically deep, whatever you want to call, things it brings up. And it doesn't always fail, but I think it fails enough times that I've, like, lost trust. Going back on that trust thing, I've lost trust for the show, like, whenever it brings up a novel situation that's, like, dark or twisted or, you know, has some complexity to it, I actually, like, kind of don't trust that it's going to, like, crack it open and have that conversation and really, like, use it properly, you know? Because, like, last season, and, like, Julie, I can pivot to Julie. A couple people commented that, like, oh, like, none of the other characters were talking to Rudy or, like, confronted Rudy about the Julie situation because when Rudy interacted with Julie, it was in her language, so nobody else knew what she was talking about. There was one there. I think this one. Rudy was the only one that could speak, so the other characters didn't know what was going on. I'm glad. I laughed so much with your reactions. I'm glad, bro. I'm glad that me tweaking. Listen, I let me real quick pause the Julie. I'm about to get into the Julie hate train. Shit's about to get tragic. Shit's about to get intense. But if nothing else, I do respect that the show, like, creating a book is hard. Writing is hard. I've been trying to write recently. This shit's hard, okay? To some degree, I respect the grind set, okay? And so for people to love the show, there are ways you can love the show that I think is really cool. And I'm fine with, you know? But it's like, some people are just gonna, especially, like, younger people, are gonna, like, engage with the show, and I think just take away so many, like, bad lessons. And that's, like, what upsets me, you know? And I think if the show did a better job at, like, having conversation with the dynamic gray situations it brings up, if it was willing to have those conversations deeper, then I think it would offset that risk so much, right? Or like, yeah, saying like a lot of the Julie thing was in internal monologue or battle god language, which none of them know. And then somebody, this is the fun one. Are you daft? Julie scene, only Julie and Rudy understood the language Rudy was speaking. How the fuck the other characters understand and react to it? So, okay. There's 2 ways we can approach this, because you're the daft one, but I'll break it down for you. Or, who says daft? Is this like a UK thing? I guess it could be. I don't know. No hate to the UK. It's just like, are you daft? Like, okay, like, let's calm down. There are 2 layers to this. There's the in-world what's happening, and then there's the meta layer of, like, why it's happening, right? Let's start with in-world. In-world, here's the scene, right? Rudy does have a lot of internal monologue, and he thinks about, I might as well put her out of her misery, and then he talks to her a bit in the language, right? Which nobody else understands. And so the argument that y'all are making is that, oh, the other characters couldn't have a conversation with Rudy about this because they didn't hear what was said, right? That's the argument. And remember, my core criticism that people are responding to is that the show is, like, failing in what it's trying to do with Julie here, and more specifically, with what I've been saying, like, for the most of this video, is that, like, there is an interesting situation here, but it's not properly, there's not a proper conversation about it, right? And the way to have a proper conversation would be that the other characters serve as, like, mirrors to bounce the situation off of. We get their different perspectives, maybe some confrontation with Rudy, something both ways, and we get to actually get, like, a more dynamic, fleshed out picture, instead of just kind of being a one-off thing about, like, how, like, to show that Rudy as, like depression and suicide and, like, kindred spirit shit. Instead of, like, being one-off, I think it could be broken open a lot more, and there could be so much more juicy stuff in there. But because it stays just between Julie and Rudius, it fails to do that. Now, people are saying, oh, how the fuck could they ever have done that if it was in a different language? In-world and out-of-world. In-world, this guy walks up to her, puts a hand on her chain, and then puts his hand up on her neck, and then speaks in a language that nobody else knows. Like, look at this hand placement. He puts his hand like this on her, right? And we got fucking, like, who is it? Like Zenoba and Sylphie that are just, like, in the background doing one of these. And, like, there's a single, like, line of drool running down the sides of their lips, right? Like, why aren't... This is kind of it's kind of obvious that he's doing something here, right? And they don't ask him, like, hey, what was up with that? You know? Even if they didn't understand what was going on, that doesn't mean that they're fucking lobotomized and can't talk to Rudy about it, especially when he was, like, doing some, like, grabby things on her. That, like, even if for whatever reason we need them to talk in a unique language that the others can't understand, right? Even under that, the other characters can still have some level of a confrontation. It is a deliberate writing choice that conversation doesn't happen. And that's what I'm critiquing, you know? Even in the logic of the world, it is permissible that a conversation could happen and the characters could talk about it. They could either infer using their eyeballs that, like, it's kind of weird that he's doing one of these to the slave child, or they could, I don't know, ask him about it, be like, hey, that kind of seemed intense. What's going on here, right? But they don't do that. And then even bigger picture, let me go to the meta layer. Okay, welcome aboard to the meta layer. Why did this conversation happen in another language in the first place? Now, I bet you just had a couple thoughts. One of the thoughts, which would be, I think, the correct thought, is to make it so that it's only a Julie and Rudius scene, right? I think that the main reason that you would have them, like, speak in an isolated language to each other is to cut out the other characters so they don't get to participate in the situation, right? It's cutting them out, you know, which is, like, what I'm upset about, because I think they would be great. They would be a great vessel to talk about the situation and give Rudy some pushback and actually, like, chew on it a bit more, you know? Instead of, like, swallowing unchewed food. Now, the other reason you'd probably think of is, like, are you daft? She's a dwarf, bro. Dwarfs have to speak this language or something like that, right? Bro, quick question. Let me apply the meta layer again. Why is she a dwarf? Maybe because... maybe she's a dwarf specifically because... They want to have the private conversation. They wanted to write the private conversation, right? Like, people are thinking too much, like, in story to actually see the writing, you know? Like, it's like if a fucking, like, nuclear bomb got dropped on one of the cities, like Mana Cataclysm, like, 3, you know? It's like, if somebody's like, hey, why did that happen? Then people are gonna be like, because magic's real, are you a fucking dumbass? Like, no! It didn't happen because magic's real. It happened because the author wanted to shake up the situation and threw a mana cataclysm in, because that's how the story's structured, right? You see how it can, and I guess you could kind of say, like, obviously there needs to be an in-world explanation, but there's also out-of-world intent, and that's what, like, I feel like so many people don't get, right? This line is also just fucking crazy, right? Do I even read this full thing, bro? You hate that guy? Why exactly do you hate him? Also, I like how you say that guy instead of, like, Rudius. So, like, because we all know you're talking about Rudius, because, like, what other characters are even to talk about in this series? Like, well played. You hate that guy? Why exactly do you hate him? You hate him because he was standing up for a schoolmate, and as a reward he got beaten up, got sexually assaulted and traumatized for life? He closed himself up from the world and had PTSD and then sacrificed his life to save a bunch of high schoolers. You hate him for that? Then he basically helps everyone he encounters. He's basically a pacifist who didn't want to kill anyone, and he always helps everyone that needs help while still battling his past trauma and trying to overcome it. You hate him for that? What did you do that's so great compared to Rudy? How many people have you saved? How many good deeds have you done? Why would you hate such a person? Yo, Chad, they beat us, bro. Anybody critical of Mushoku Tensei? Hey, how many of us have died trying to save a bunch of high schoolers? Apparently none of us, because none of us are dead if we're having criticism if we're fucking alive. criticism invalid, can't do nothing, you know? So yeah, obviously this part is complete brain rot, and like not even like this, like I think this right here, yeah. Like saying the "what did you do" compared to a fictional character is that completely is like a self-sabotage point. I'll even heart that. But the thing is, you're purely focusing on like the parts of him that are a victim, which are real and do exist. I'm not gonna pretend they don't. There are parts of him that is a victim, and there's also good things he's done, but you're completely ignoring every other part of him, right? And saying like, what do you mean? Like, you're criticizing him, but he's done good things. Bitch, everyone's done good things, bro. Like, everyone has, like, given somebody else a compliment in this world, right? But if you only focus on the good shit, you're blinding yourself to, like, the total character of a person. You see what I mean? You say, like, you know, because he does have some victim stuff. You say, like, he basically helps everyone he encounters. He wanted to groom Sylphie when he first spawned in, bro. We're not talking about that, right? And, like, the whole Everest thing got some crazy energy all around it. Some, like, problematic energy. But, like, of course, you're just completely ignoring any problematic or negative thing he's done, which do exist, which, by the way, you're ignoring written parts of the character. Like, you're doing the character a disservice. Don't you understand? Like, I'm engaging with the character better by actually looking at their doing. You know, you can't just put blinders on for everything else, right? So, like, that just completely, like, destroys the comment, you know? But yeah, this also line is just fucking insane. Like, I read this and I had an entire, like, stroke. Regarding about Rudy worshipping Roxy's panty, have you ever asked yourself why do Christians use the cross as the symbol, and later added meanings onto what it represents? Y'all see what I deal with out in these streets, bro? Out in the Mushoku Tensei, a jobless reincarnation streets. Okay? Because this is like my masterclass in baiting the chat actually works successfully, because you're right. I think it is like a symbolism for greater things for him, but that's what's so crazy about it, is that, like, to actually respond to my question of, like, what's going on with, like, isn't the Rudy Roxy panties thing, like, crazy? I mean, isn't the whole Roxyism symbolism with the panties kind of crazy? To respond to that, you have to make this argument of, like, yeah, it's the same thing as, like, the Christians and the cross, or the crescent moon for the Muslims, you know? But it's like, you understand that you're having to compare the cross with Jesus Christ in the Christian faith to Rudy worshipping Roxy's panties, which he stole from her when he was a child and now is married to her. Right, that's the comparison. And don't, like, that's insane. Like, I don't even know how to break that down more. Of, like, it's just it's inherently kind of like, it's fundamentally so crazy because it's like panties are like it's just crazy. You know what I mean? And you can like bro, ask yourself, why did the Christians use the cross as their symbol? The way Jesus died is because he was crucified. Object of association. And it's the exact same thing, bro. Roxy's dirty, smelly panties, bro, are the same thing as Jesus getting crucified. Do you see what's happening here? That's just what's so crazy about it fundamentally. And so it's like, to take it completely seriously, you can do. And I respect the attempt. I'm kind of clowning on it a little bit, but I do respect the move here. Because I think that is partially what the show's trying to do. But at the same time, because it's panties, it's leaning into, like, a lighter tone. It's, like, kind of jokey of, like, haha, isn't Rudy so crazy? That's kind of, like, I feel like the tone, it is naturally, like, more lighthearted and jokey. And, like, that's kind of makes it a little difficult to do both the serious, like, deep, religious, spiritual thing, and then also the, like, lol, it's panties, right? Like, you see how those two things are, like, difficult to mesh together well? Yeah. Also, like, this line, why does it seem like you want drama just for the sake of drama, regardless if it makes sense story-wise? I think the drama makes more sense story-wise than the lack of drama, okay? That's the thing. It makes sense story-wise to have the drama. That's what's so annoying, you know? But, like, Sylphie, and we even know this now, because, like, Sylphie has literally said that she's kind of jealous of Roxy, but she, of course, like, maybe she's waiting to confront it later, in which case, please fucking do, dude. I would love to see some Sylphie confrontation about jealousy with Roxy and her being insecure and blah, blah, blah. The problem is, instead of actually, like, having that as, like, weaponization, which is, like, that would be a proper thing to complain to Rudy about, of, like, hey, you know, it was supposed to be the two of us. I feel kind of jealous of the other partner. But what I think is just going to happen is, like, if she admits that she's jealous, Rudy's just going to try to, like, make her feel better. And then it's just going to prop Rudy up as, like, looking really caring, you know? But it's like, point is, I'm getting distracted. It's not drama for the sake of drama. It's, well, like, a story where nothing happens, like why am I even like watching or engaging in it? You know, I'm kind of like here to like experience stuff. So if people are just fucking like like if we had like 5 episodes of them just like going to school and farming, like everybody would drop the series because they'd get bored. Not everybody. There's a couple of people that like the slice of life stuff. I think that's just like boring most of the time, unless it's got like some more juice to it, or unless it's got like a really good tone or like characters that I really like watching. But like I think the drama is when is like what the story, it's almost like the promise of the premise, okay? It's what the story keeps sowing seeds for, but it never harvests the seeds, which like pisses me off. And B, I think it makes logical sense for there to be more drama. Which would be super cool, right? Like it's an episode of the Sister Wives. Like let's fucking make shit happen. Let the eating man plant cook. Agreed. A non-stop parade of thesis. Oh, like graduate theses. That's true. I heard of this previously, but I forgot. Other stuff. Keep moving forward. Agreed. Talking a lot about all power fantasy stuff. Did somebody mention Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint? Or am I tweaking? Oh no, Omniscient Narrator's Perspective. Yo, shout out Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint, bruh. That's a fun one. But yeah, a lot of conversation about the in fact, I'd rather you don't. My fault. I'll read that on my... I think I didn't read this, but I'll read this before I start reading, but I won't focus on it because you asked me not to. Yo, W consent in the chat. So, the thing I was going to say about wish fulfillment, chat did give some good pushback that I actually would accept about how to, like who would actually wish for a lot of the stuff that like Rudy's gone through, because I kind of use that example like in comparison to like Subaru, for example. I did like a ReZero comparison, and like yeah, like I think the wish fulfillment, was it here? I think it was maybe somewhere else. I think there's absolutely like a level of wish fulfillment with the romantic stuff. Oh, right here, I think it was. It seems like the wish fulfillment problem is more to do with romance, but yeah, I don't really like the Rudy's romance either, but it's not a deal breaker for me. If that's your point, my bad about the previous yapping. So like, my point is something that I find the more I talk, right? And I do think there is truth to this, where I think like, I think the wish fulfillment part that I'm annoyed with is specifically about the romance. So like this part about it, like, I can't agree on Mushoku Tensei being a power fantasy. Even if you think that some deeper stuff is problematic, it's not all problematic. Hoshi's breakdown, Norn shutting in, Paul's death, being abandoned by Eris, and the turning points, none of them feel power fantasy for me. I think you tend to devalue Rudy's suffering because of the good stuff. It's like, yes, I don't think that part is wish fulfillment. I think I can actually back off on that to a degree. There is an element of wish fulfillment because, like, Rudy did get born in and, like, was super, like, has become, like, really OP with the magic stuff and, like, really handsome and, like, he's got all the connections and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, like, he was born into, like, a noble position, which gave him, like, a lot of buffs in this fantasy world. So there is, like, him immediately being part of the, like, 0.1% of the world in terms of, like, ability and connections and, like, you know, money or fucking looks and, like, dick size and etc. I think that's all an element of wish fulfillment. But that part is, like, not nearly as big of a deal to me in comparison to the romantic stuff. That's where, like, it actually bothers me, because the romantic stuff links to him being a degenerate in his past, and it kind of, like, rewards his degeneracy, is how it feels, right? But the element of him, like, being, like, wish fulfillment and, like, the actual, like, fighting and stuff, he does get his ass beat a good amount, and so, like, that part I'm like, cool with. And he doesn't just get everything he wants. Like, compared to, like, a true wish fulfillment slop, like, there are true wish fulfillments out there that are, like, I don't even read those because I have, like, self-respect, right? And, like, respect for my time and, like, what I consume and what I put into my brain. I have some element of respect for that. So it's like, I don't want to just watch somebody, like fucking, like, get jacked off for, like, 20 years straight. That's kind of, like, brain rot, you know? I think, like, and there are, like, the closest would probably be that I could think of would be Solo Leveling. And I dropped that, as I talked about last episode, because it's just like, you know, watching somebody get stronger over and over and over is just, like, lame, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I am willing to, like, I don't want to say that the wish fulfillment outside of the romance is a deal breaker. I think there is a small element, but I don't think it's, like, it should be used as, like, a giant criticism, you know what I mean? Yeah, but, like, it is, like, there is something that's kind of sucky about it, because, and it, especially in how it ties into the romance, because he goes from being, like, a degenerate, like, shut-in otaku, and then in this world, he's, like, actually, like, forming, like, relationships and getting wives, right? And so you would think that this is, like, a lesson to all the shut-ins out there of, like, you too can, like, start a new life and, like, put yourself out there and, like, try to form connections and stuff and, like, be happy and stop like jacking off like during your parents' funeral, you can like actually like go out there and into the great world and like be great and make moves and have a good time. But the problem is that argument gets undercut because Rudy spawns in, is OP, rich, and super handsome. It's like, bro, if that shit happened in real life, yeah, Rudy wouldn't be a degenerate too. Like at that point, it takes away the theme of redemption or whatever no longer applies to like reality. You can't apply it anymore because it's like so much of the redemption is something that's like handed to him by him getting to put into a good spawn. Now, of course, he struggles after the good spawn happens, and that's where I think it doesn't completely break down. That's where like I'm fine with having more wiggle room, and I'm fine if people like, I think there's some good argumentation on both sides at that point where like the turning points and like Orsted and like blah blah blah. Like bro does have to put the work in, but I do think that him spawning in so strong undercuts a large amount of that growth, right? It makes it feel like that his ability to form relationships and have lives and be happy is at least partially built on the foundation of having a good luck spawn, being handsome, being wealthy. And that's depressing as hell, right? And like, you could argue, and this is where we're getting into some like high level techniques, that shit's just true to reality, because yeah, it is. Like if my, like, you know, I could, like, if I was fucking top 1% conventionally attractive and was like super wealthy, bro, I could get like any woman on the planet, you know? Because like, it'd be not on the planet, that's a little bit much, but like obviously it's a lot easier to have a like to be in a relationship and have like a loving family if you are what's the word, like privileged, right? That privilege does go pretty privileged, it goes a long way. It's just like in Mushoku Tensei, it's a lot of the growth and a lot of the change that Rudius gets to go through seems to boil down to straight up pretty privilege and like up and like wealth privilege and stuff like that, which I think undercuts any argument you'd make about, oh, it's a story about him growing and like getting to have a second life. Like, yeah, everybody would love a second life where they get to spawn in so OP. So yeah, that's where like I think there's conversation to be had there though. Whereas in which case like I'm kind of cool with it. In comparison to the romance wish fulfillment stuff, in which case I think that's where they become worshipful and lobotomized, and then it like falls apart, right? So, but like with the other stuff, I'm more cool with that, and I think we can like, you know, because like it is fun to think about pretty privilege, and but of course that's something the show doesn't talk about, right? Like, where maybe it does a little bit with like Rudius's like internal dialogue about being like a fat pig and like sucking ass and being ugly, and like how when he's with Man God, he gets like he like his own self-image is being the otaku from the past life. And so it's like there is like it is kind of happening, but I don't know if it like goes into like a lot of conversation. But I don't know, that'd be cool to like maybe like, yeah. Anyways, how much for Daddy Orsted to nuke his family house? Everyone gets boned to bits. Rudy is left limbless and locked into a Gundam chastity cage. Infinite, bro. I'll do whatever it takes, bro. That's my wish. Please, Orsted, fulfill it, bro. I literally my pinned comment. Please, Orsted, show up next episode and start sliming each and every family member out. But yeah, okay. Let me see if there's any other things I wanted to talk about. Talk about subjectivity a bit. Family stuff. Bum ba da da bum bum. Dum ba da dum bum bum. Yeah, like I never saw this as a wish fulfillment. I'd rather not experience ED, blah blah blah, like all the bad things that happened. I think it's a mix. I think there's a mix, and the most of the wish fulfillment is with the romance part. That's where I think I've landed on that, which is good. Did you know that Roxy falling in love with Rudius was foreshadowed in season 1? So I think it fits her character. But like, have you ever thought that maybe her character was built to fall in love with Rudius? Like that was step 1, right? Like instead of that's what I kind of mean, you know. Where it's like you have to like zoom out a little bit and look at the writing and be like, I wonder why Roxy had the trait of her having the fantasy for a handsome guy with a baby face to save her from a labyrinth. You know what I mean? Maybe that fantasy exists only because Rudius will then be able to fulfill it to get a free wife, right? Like that's what I mean. You know what I mean? Unreliable narrator stuff, there's a little bit to talk about. I think the anime doesn't do it very well, but like I think the light novel in my understanding of it does do it pretty well. Or like at least it does try to do it to a degree. I haven't read it enough. I've read like a few random chapters, so it's a little different to say. But this was really sweet. I really appreciate it. There's a couple really nice messages that I've read all the comments. I just am not necessarily trying to like talk about them all here. So I'm trying to do one last scroll, but oh, I think this one I didn't like. This part, I think I had something to say. Okay, so this is not for you specifically. I'm no Rudy defender, but a lot of haters often say he gets off easy or gets slapped on the wrist for him doing bad things. It's not, and saying it's not realistic. XYZ is a counterpoint. But how many people IRL get away with bad things? A lot, and a lot all the time. In fact, many characters did bad things in other series that nobody cared as much because it's not the type of bad things that makes people uncomfortable and just want him to suffer for the sake of suffering due to people not liking the guy. It's a good lesson to show and teach both Rudy and viewers that do bad things get bad results. But we just halfway through the entire series so far, so let it happen. I think like so this part. I think you're like, yes, but I think there is, okay, right here. It's a good lesson to show and teach both Rudy and the viewers that do bad things, get bad results. That's what the show doesn't do, though. And you are saying, just wait, like, it'll happen eventually. But at least, like, up until now, I think a lot of the bad things that Rudy has done haven't punished him and have, in fact, actually, like, helped him, you know? Easiest example, Roxy, Sophie, we dual wife wielding right now. Though, also, that was Roxy. Right? I kind of like, that kind of slipped my mind. Bro, Roxy was crazy at the end of last season. I feel like I even remember that, I didn't even blame Rudy almost at all for that. Like, there is, I would have to, like, rewatch some of the scenes to, like, make sure I'm, like, crystallized on my opinions. But, like, that was actually Roxy being fucking unhinged as hell, you know? But like, I do think do bad things get bad results isn't something that the show tells me or anyone at all, which is a large part of why, like, I struggle with the show. For example, like, oh, you're saying that, like Eris, you know? Sexually harass Eris, power dynamic difference, fucking, like, pedophile, right? Like, all of those situations with Eris in season 1, what were the results that Rudy got out of that? Well, Rudy and Eris fucked, and then now she's obsessed with him. Don't you see how, like, people would take that as a good thing? And it's like, oh, so I should sexually harass women. Like, no! And by the way, women, yeah, she was like 9 or whatever, you know? So, like, that's where the do bad things get bad results thing, like, I'm waiting for a lot of shoes to drop, you know? And that's why, like, I need Eris to pull up and, like, cut Sophietti's head off in, like, a fit of, like, rage and jealousy because she's, you know? Fuck it, bro. Give me some sister wives, like, murder drama, okay? I want to see this shit on, like, those YouTube, like, true crime podcasts. I need to see Mushoku Tensei on a true crime podcast, all right? Shout out Iwu, bro. Explore with us, all right? I'll be watching some of those, not gonna lie. I need Eris to come in with some of that energy or I'm not gonna be happy. It's been 40 minutes. Anything else I'm trying to say? But also, serious stuff aside, you're like one of my favorite MT reactor. Bro treating MT like a drug. He wanted to stop tape for years, but just can't resist and back for more. Love the self-conflicting and your love-hate relationship. I'm glad. Dude, it's such a unique... Turning point 4. Treant, please eat this whole family. Yeah. Also, Zenoba trying to do the hand for his own behavior. I'm fine with that. I'll take that. I'll back off on that argument. The hand is a side product for him trying to, like, or not his own anger, his own ability. He's trying to, like, correct his own ability. I'm fine with backing down on that. Because, yeah, I definitely have done some tweaking. But, okay. I did read this. I feel like, did I respond to this already? I don't remember if I responded in my head or not. I think I responded to the wish fulfillment part. But yeah, I think that's good. I'm going to read that one comment that said not to talk about it on YouTube. And then I'm going to do the actual episode. Okay, wait, I actually feel like I need to respond a little bit to this despite asking not to. I'll be quick, and I'll try to be gentle. It's like, so a lot of this is saying, like, just because you don't understand it, you shouldn't, like, call it bad. Like, how would you feel if, like, you wrote something, put something out into the world, and then, like, somebody, like, shat on it, basically? And, like, saying that they're, like, insulting, or, like, but denying what the author put into their work just to not put effort into understanding it is a very sad thing for a story writer. So, like, listen. Is there such a thing as a harmful story? Maybe. That's a good question, right? Do I think a story should ever be censored? No. But I think, like, it is, anytime you put something out into the world, you are opening yourself to criticism, and that's part of the package, bro. And, like, that's a good thing, you know? And so I think it's totally, like, I think I have put more effort into understanding Mushoku Tensei than 99% of the viewers by actually, like, doing the reaction thing and, like, commenting on stuff. and like reading comments and stuff. I think I put a monumental amount of effort into understanding it. The parts where I deny what the author is putting into the work, or where I think the author has like failed to do what I think they're trying to do. It's what I'm trying to point out, like what I see as failures here and there. And I think like it's not, I don't know if it's personal or not. I think the only time, because I don't know if I'm meaning to personally insult the author, or like, I am like kind of personally insulting some of the commenters, but it's just like, it's fun, you know, it's like, and it's like, I try to take it like lighthearted. Like I can make it very clear. I think censorship bad. I don't think any media should be censored. I mean, censored to like kids, yes, but I don't think they should be like, I don't think books should ever be burned. I don't think Mushoku Tensei should be like banned, or that people like should be barred from watching it. I think that'd be terrible, you know? I think that the writer has a right to be able to put this out into the world, but in the same way, everybody else has a right to like thinking it's good or bad and like talking about that and putting their own takes into the world. You know, I think that's like, it's like the marketplace of ideas and shit, right? And then also this like bottom part of like, shows affect people, and they will be upset seeing you reducing it to whatever because you are an influencer. If you were not watching this on YouTube, no one would care, right? Can you even imagine what you have the power to make someone like or dislike a show they're watching inside you for the first time? The thing is that like, so there's two goals. There's two goals with my content. I want to entertain and or I want to educate, right? Those are like two of the main goals, right? And so like, entertainment, some people like watching this. Some people like watching somebody tweak out about Mushoku Tensei for hours on end, and that's something that I then deliver. So in that case, I think I'm being additive, you know? And then educate would be like, oh, maybe if you're somebody that watched Mushoku Tensei and like took away bad lessons from it, and then you watch one of my videos and you're like, I guess it was kind of wrong what Roxy did, then I think that would be good, right? Because like, when you watch media, it's like training you how to handle your own life a lot of the time, you know? Like, if I see a couple in a show have an argument, and then I actually try to engage with that argument, I'm like, who's in the right here? That's preparing me, that's developing me more emotionally to be able to deal with problems in my real life that like end up on that track, right? If I have an argument with like a partner in the future, then I can kind of use the training from the fictional arguments to apply to my real life. And so the risk is if you have a show where there's like conflicts that happen, but then they're like handled poorly, then it's like putting flawed messaging out into the world, you know, that then I think could be harmful to people. And so I think that's why it's important that people are allowed to criticize the show, because then we get to have those discussions, you know, and we get to ask ourselves, who was in the wrong? Who was in the right? Is Rudy a bad person? Is Rudy a good person? What makes him a bad person? You know, because when we're answering those questions, it's like, it's not about fucking Rudy. Don't you understand, bro? It's about us. It's about reality. It's about your own relationships, right? Thinking that Rudy is a good person inherently and that like he's never done anything wrong means that I don't trust you around children, right? And I'm sorry, I'm being a little I'm putting it specifically to be a little more inflammatory, though I'm not wrong. I probably still wouldn't trust you. But it's like, that's exactly the point. You see, like, your opinions on these characters are reflective of how you interpret the world. And so that's why I think it's important to, like, we shouldn't, it is hard to write, and I do want to, like, put a little bit of glaze on, like, and respect on, like, even putting anything out into the world, because that's a really hard process, but, like, just because somebody's putting something out in the world doesn't mean I'm gonna, like, bite my tongue around it, you know? Like, people put shit out into the world all the time, and it's okay to call it shit, and they should keep producing shit and make it better shit, you know? Like, a lot of the stuff I do is shit, and that's okay. Some of my reactions, I would say, are bad, you know? And people can criticize them, and they would be right. But that's just part of the formula, man. And, like, it's kind of fun, like people in this comment section, and, like, every comment section, every here and there will think that I'm, like, a dumb idiot. And they're allowed to do that, you know? And then we get to talk about it and actually figure out what a dumb idiot is, and then we all come away from it better, bro. Don't you see? It's like additive. And then if people don't enjoy watching these, then leave, and that's okay. There is no hard feelings, bro. Like, I want you to be happy, bro. 86 likes, is it a message? I want you to be happy, bro. Okay? And, like, if you just if you're hate watching the hate watch, then baby girl, you're free, bro. The thing is, I enjoy hate watching. I've contorted my mind enough, right? Anyways, let's jump into the actual episode. I didn't download them. I have to download them now. I have spent 50 minutes on the comments and I forgot to download the episodes. No. Okay, one last point before I jump to the episode, which I just finished downloading, is that, like, going off of this whole thing about like censorship and like media and blah blah blah, it's like the question: how would you feel if a piece of media was like saying racism is good and was like glorifying racism or like glorifying misogyny or glorifying like whatever thing you don't like? If a piece of media like made it its mission to try to be like, this is actually a good thing, and like treated it like that, then like how would you feel about that, you know? And like I feel like that, like drawing it to the very extreme is a good example to be like, oh, maybe I wouldn't like that. Now, I still don't think those kinds of books should be censored, because I'm a big thing of like anti-censorship. Don't get it twisted. But I also think that it is valuable to be able to like give pushback to them. And of course, I do like, I don't, play it up is maybe not the right word, but I like to throw hands a little bit with the comments and with the show itself, because it can take it. It can take it. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up as like a little analogy where it's like, just there are, I think you can think of examples of shows. Or of like a hypothetical show that like wouldn't be good in that way. So we want to like, apply that kind of same thought to anything else like Mushoku or whatever. Anyways, let's just jump straight into it. Let me get my notation device up and then we'll get it going in. And 3, 2, 1, bang! This is episode 5, yeah? Okay, yeah. Making sure he's not in the middle of banging Elena Lee's, because they gotta be doing that continually because she has a sex curse. Talk about it. Oh, she's depressed. Oh, and we're about to get... Wait.
クリフは今日も結婚式の準備ですわ。
俺たちがベガリット大陸へ向かうとき、クリフはエリナ・リーゼにプロポーズをした。
Yo, what?
二人は結婚する。
Elena Lees, you don't look very excited.
何にせよ、おめでとうございます。
Oh no. Elena Lees, how do you feel about that?
最近クリフは忙しくて3日に1度しかしてもらえませんの。
That's yo,
どう
Cliff.
せ愛の巣ができたら1週間は出てこないんでしょ。ルーデウスが羨ましいですわ。シルフィーとロキシーを2人同時に相手してるんでしょ。いや3人でしてませんよ。あら、してませんの？大人数でするのは結構いいものですわ。
Okay. What did I expect? What did I expect talking to Elena Lees? She should be like, do threesomes. What? I guess it's harem versus polygamy would be the difference, right?
2人には私から根回ししてあげてもよろしくてよ。お願いします、エリナ・リーゼ様。
Please do. Well, I don't even think it's more wrong to do threesomes if they're both comfortable with it, but it's just you'd have to talk to them. But it's like you're already married, like at that point, like, I don't know, just talk to them. No, we're not drugging them. Yo, what the f-
結婚初日ぐらい野獣みたいなクリフに責められてみたいんですの。
Yo, you trying to pop Molly or what? That's like what she's basically saying. Okay, get aphrodisiac equal she'll get our wives to do a threesome. That's where we're at. It's crazy. It's so crazy to instantly jump from drooling at the thought of him ground pounding your ass to the moon all the way to the fucking vows. Like, I'm not like in a romantic, like, we were just talking about threesomes like literally 20 seconds ago and having him like drugged up so that he's like going like a feral animalistic beast. And now we're cutting to their cute marriage. It's like, okay, damn, that was fast. She is tall. Got them heeled shoes. Respectful. Not on the lips? That's probably just how it works with the faith. How long y'all think they're gonna last, bro? Probably, actually, I feel like they're probably a while. Until he gets erectile dysfunction, then it's over. Hey, baby girl got needs, okay? Baby girl got needs, okay? You can't fulfill them. Unless you open up the marriage. 3 years until the marriage is opened up. Think about it.
やっぱり女の子はああいうのに憧れるものなのかな。まあね。でも僕らの時は僕らの時で温かみがあってよかったよね。そうだね。
She looks so young. It's just killing. That's no. This is not angles. This is not angles. This is not angles. There's no fucking way this is angles. Okay, I'm sorry. I know we just had a nice wedding scene or whatever the hell. What do you mean? What do you mean? Make it make sense. This is not what it would look like. Like, there's no really. I feel like it's like the perspective. It's like, okay. I am Roxy Grey Rat. Okay? I am Roxy. It's like we're gonna make it make sense. Do you see how low I am? I am on my knees and I'm slouching on top of that to get the angle, okay? Do you understand? Let me raise it back up for you. Like, look how low. That we're talking like this much difference. This much, I guess. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I don't know, bro. I'm not sure. This shot just looked crazy to me. This shot just like she actually looks like okay, wait, compare her to like Norn and Aisha for a second. Like, we're cooked. Okay, 4 minutes. Shout out the armadillo.
ロキシーも結婚式をしたんですか？いえ。
ミグルド族にはそういう習慣
Yo, what you trying to say? Spit it out, Roxy.
俺とロキシーは式を挙げていない。しかし、ああいうものを見ると、やはり自分もと思うのだろうか。
She just said no, though.
式は必要ありませんが、ほら、
Yeah, what do you want?
わかるでしょ。
You want a dress? Pretty dress? A kiss? Forehead kiss?
失礼。素敵なおでこだったのでね。そうですか。レディー。
Please cut to. The little ear jiggle is crazy. She had like a I'm excited ear jiggle.
こんなところでそういうのちょっとやめてくれませんか？仕方ないな。いや、やめてください。
Aisha, don't even look at me.
全くもう兄さんはどうしてそう。
Yeah, don't look at her.
アイシャ。お兄ちゃん。アイシャ、足を絡めるのはやめなさい。はーい。まったく、もう11歳になったのだから立派な淑女として落ち着いてほしいのですが。まあまあ。
Dude, she's my neighbor Totoroing, bro. She's panda, go panda, go panda. Ing.
もしかして2人は5歳と10歳のお祝いをしてないんじゃないか？転院事件の中でパウロもそんな余裕はなかっただろう
Paul
し。
too busy, bro. Man, I miss Paul.
みんなで盛大にお祝いしなきゃいけねえな。
よし、決めた。パーティーを開こう。
Birthday episode. Please, Orsted, show up to the birthday party. Please. Please. If the end of this episode says next episode turning point like 5 or whatever the hell, I am pogging my pants off. We're going crazy. The Pumpkin Festival. Why them two flirting? Yo, who put aphrodisiac in the water? I know somebody did. It was probably Elena Lee's. That's why she's out. That's why she needs Rudy to give her more.
早速シルフィーとロキシーに協力してもらった。しかし、今日街に繰り出したのはそれだけが目的ではない。
Those shots of Roxy earlier were just crazy to me. Wait, okay. He's plotting the threesome. Bro, just communicate with your wives independently and ask if they're okay with that instead of doing some like weird. What did she do? I don't trust Elena Lee's when it comes to like threesomes or like anything. I don't know. I just don't trust her. Alright, lock in.
デートを楽しんでもらう。両方が大事だ。
失礼。ちょっと口元が緩んだようです。ささ、行きましょう。この魔力を込めると中のものが凍りつく鍋は。
Yo, I'm sorry for pausing again. Roxy Yeti, make it make sense. You're telling me that the servant girl, you're gonna get a pot that can freeze things? That's like giving your mom a vacuum cleaner for Christmas. Like, oh, now you can do labor for the house better. Yo, give her something nice. Don't give her like, no, let's give her like a better broom. Yeah, I should really love a new like maid outfit, right? Like, what are we doing, bro? Treat her like a person. I guess she like barely wants to be treated like a person because she's freaking mind broken. 706 through the That's just crazy. Yeah, Sophie knows. Thank you, Sophie. W Soph. I don't know what Norn would want. Norn's the goat. Norn wants a, I don't know, typewriter? She already has one, right? Orsted's in the clothing rack. It's $1 billion. Don't worry, I can read that language. What are those? Crystal prisoners? Or they're like lamps. Wait, do we not buy a new hat? What a new hat at? What is the plot? What is the plot? What is the plot for the threesome? I don't know.
ルディと喧嘩したらここで仲直りしなさいって。おや、シルフィーもですか？私もエリナリーゼさんからルディがシルフィーと私を揃ってこの宿に誘うかもしれないと。
Okay.
やはりそれはその。なるほどね。ルディは変態ですね。
Oh, okay, they have figured it out. Oh, is it like a love hotel? Oh, I'm a little confused actually still.
でも泊まるならルーシーが心配だな。大丈夫。
And wait, yo, so like Rudy is like I don't know. I don't know. I feel like we could have just like talked to them individually to make sure that they're okay with this new step in the relationship, but who gives a fuck? It's fine.
言い訳はすまい。すまんルーシー。欲望に弱い父親を許してくれ。
さてと、二人とも何でしょうか。実は部屋を取ってあるんだ。
人生で一度は言ってみたかったセリフである。ロキシー、改めて聞くけど、僕と一緒で大丈夫だよね。
はい、覚悟していました。よろしくお願いします。
Yo, just walk in the building already. Thank you. Nah, bro, wait for Eris to pull up. You'll have the same conversation. A better night. Come on, lock on. And then wait till we like force femme Orsted. Look, it's red, blue, and green. It's literally the 3 colors. We don't have Eris though. Where's Eris? You know what I mean? Like it's. Bro, nothing even happened. Why are they having a threesome if it's not like where's the like? Okay, it's fine. Dang, I thought we were gonna get like a little bit of like Sofietti jealousy, but she was just like, "You trying to link up?" Roxy said, "I'm trying to link up," and then they linked up. Elena, what was that plot, Elena? Just tell them that the inn is fire? Bruh. Elena Lee, I thought Elena Lee was about to make some actual moves, not just be like, hey, this inn. Trust me. But, sure. I gotta turn my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'm getting too many messages. Yo, lock in. What's up, fish? No, I'm gonna just cast a water spell and immediately capture all the fish, because I'm the goat. I'm a water king class water mage. I love Norn. Norn is like 1v9ing, bro. I love Norn. So Norn is gonna, like, everyone's gonna be friends, and that's fine. But, like, that is what's happening.
だから一度やってみたいと思ってたんだ。
You pulsating worm. Look at it jiggle jiggle.
私とどっちが
The
多く
jiggle
釣れるか
jiggle skin.
競争しよ
おお、いいぞ。せっかくだし、負けた方は言うことを一つ聞くってのはどうだ？
No, 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 no. Don't make that deal with Aisha. She's gonna use it to do something weird. I don't trust Aisha.
う。これ
Yeah, help Norn. Norn's dying out here. Norn is
兄
dying.
さんもわからんよ。
We're
何せ
cooked.
釣りなどやったことがないから
Okay.
な。
Okay, that's cute. That's actually adorable. You're allowed to do. That's cute. I like that. We're learning together. Oh, it was a layup for Roxy. Good layup. Good layup, actually. I didn't even recognize it. That was how smooth it was. Well played. What's up, fish?
虫がちぎれないよう釣り針に刺して。ここからなら向こう岸の木陰付近を狙えばいいと思います。できそうですか？やってみます。
Dude, she speared the fuck out of that worm.
お上手ですね。
She like did it like head first and like slid it up the spine. That thing was insane. No fish is ever getting a bite of that. Damn, that
慣れてま
fast.
すね。
Is she a
一人旅を
fisher?
していた頃はできる限り自分で食べ物を取らなければいけませ
Bro,
んでした
aren't you a water? I feel like there's gotta be a water spell. Fishy, fishy, I call upon the grand tides of the great water god. Spill your fervor all over me, pause. Fishy, fishy, come to me
旅
now.
をしていた頃、ルイジェルドさんが魚を取ってくれま
I
し
remember
た。
that spell.
彼も釣りを？いえ、槍でドンって水の中をついて。
Aura.
先に
Infinite
魚が
Ruijerd
3匹も
aura.
ついてて。
Put that in the book.
あ、ノルンさん、当たりが来ています。引いてください。はい。
Pulls out the fish. It's actually Orsted in disguise. Holy shit, you did it again, bro. Turning pointed. Yeah, this fish was this fish? Oh my god, what the? Okay. I thought I was gonna slap him in the face. That fish was strong as hell. I guess they both have the strength of like a 7-year-old, so. Yeah, and Aisha just crazy. Aisha just a beast. I don't know, make it make sense. Rui, I almost called you Ruijerd. Rudius Gray Quagmire Rat. Get a fucking fish. Get a fish on your line.
何してもらおうかな。一晩ギューってしてもらいながら、アイシャ可愛いよなんてささやいてもらおうかな。
別にそれぐらいなら構わないのだが
You gotta catch a fish.
ここは兄としての威厳を見せつける
You
べきではない
spells, bro. Frick it, you spells. That's a boot!
大物ゲット。
お兄ちゃん、
釣り場をきれいにするのも釣り人の役目だからな。アイシャ、俺も本気を出すぞ。
今まで本気じゃなかったの？
まあ見てなさい。
Oh, he's got spells. If this works, by the way, then for Roxy to be having fished in the past is brainrotted for Roxy. Oh, he's got new tech. He's got new tech.
この魔術の極意は圧縮にある。空に広げた大量の魔力で雲を作り、それを圧縮して雷を落とす。だが最初から雲の大きさを制御すれば威力を抑えた雷撃を放つことができる。名付けてエレクトリックだ。
Okay. Tiny zap. Fry the entire lake. Kill the entire fish population. And we did ecological terrorism.
どうだ。これでお兄ちゃんの
But I would call that a win. Honestly, I would call that a win.
魔術はズルだよ。兄さん、ルディ、いくらなんでも大人げないです
Yo,
よ。
Roxy, you're just mad that you never cast water spells as a water mage to catch a fish, okay? Lock in, get caught up to speed.
見て見て、私こんなに釣っちゃった。
You can have fun with your fishing
ロ
rod.
レンネはどうだった？
Have fun in the Stone Age.
シー姉さんに教わってこんなに大きいのが釣れたな。
You're lying. The fish was small. You're lying. She's doing the fisherman thing.
今度私にも教えて。ダメだよ。アイシャの方がたくさん釣ってるもん。ロキシー姉さんにはまた
Okay, we are getting a height difference. I was talking about height earlier.
ほ
Boom.
ら、喧嘩しないでください。二人とも教えてあげますから。ただいま。
Oh,
誕
surprise.
生日おめでとう。
おめでとう。
ございます。私たちもう11歳だけど。うん。10歳の時は祝ってあげられなかったからね。遅れちゃったけど、 1年ぐらいならいいよねってルディが。
W.
お兄ちゃんが？
さあ入ろう。
Pumpkin pie! Or is that a chocolate, like a not chocolate, is that like a chicken pot
み
pie?
んな飲み
Is
物
that
の
a pot
準備
pie
は
or
い
a
いかな。
pumpkin pie?
フィットア寮の転移事件から7年。長かったけれど、ようやく家族が揃った。父さんはいなくなり、母さんも元に戻るかわからない。
I just, it's just like, I can feel Eris and Orsted both sprinting to the location, okay? I can feel them. I can't relax. Any second now. Oh, his sword. Yo, I miss Paul. Shout out my boy Paul, yeah. True, he would have wanted that. That's true. Man, I missed that, man. I think it was a pot pie. Alright, what are the presents? Pop it on open. Yes, you're allowed to receive it. Yes. That's sad. That, like, dude. Girly pop. What? Oh, they're being respectful, I see. Boots! Coat! Those are W boots. I'll accept boots. Poor Madre, dude. It's just still so tapped out. Oh, she tapped in a little bit? Oh, she's doing better. That's really sweet. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aww. She's going back and forth, too. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Just like Rudy was with Sophia and Roxy last night. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. Sorry. I'm allowed to ruin a pleasant moment, okay? It's okay, it's okay. Lock in. This is sweet. This is actually sweet. Thank you. Yeah, give Aisha. Thank you. Treating Aisha like an actual human being this episode. Thank goodness. There we go. Okay, she's doing so much better today. This is actually incredible, W. Oh no, what if Orsted slimes her out? Oh no, what if Orsted slimes her out? Yo, the title of the episode, next episode's about to be Turning Point. Oh, it's the hat. It's the hat. Sophia, like... Sophia, you got, do you not, like, okay, it's fine. Baby girl, like, This episode, she's coming across as totally chill about everything, as opposed to any of the jealousy stuff, but it seems like it was pretty... Oh, wait. We're breaking it down a little bit. I was speaking too soon. That's a great, that's an interesting comparison, but sure. Yeah.
家族みんなで笑って楽しんでパウロが望んでいたのはきっとこんな光景だったのだろう
Bro, we're not getting any Sophietti jealousy arc. We're not gonna get it. We got a little taste of it last episode, but no, after that, they're actually fully cleared. What the fuck is bluey bluey blah? Yo, put that bluey bluey blah away. Put it away. I don't want none of that. Throwback. 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 Yeah, they're gonna turn 15. The oddly Orsted-shaped object on the way. Please tell me next episode is named, like, the murder of everyone I care about. Please tell me next episode is, like, unexpected guest at the threesome. Please! Please! Wait, actually, take bets. Is Eris gonna show up first, or is Orsted gonna show up first? Ooh, that's actually interesting. Because, like, Eris showing up first, we get Sister Wives drama. Juicy. Orsted showing up first, then we get Eris coming in afterwards and be like, Orsted! I'm coming for you! You know, like, then we get her, like, she wouldn't even know. And then it would delay the Sister Wives drama until later. Because it'd be crazy. Like, imagine, ooh, I feel like that's actually more likely what the show's gonna do. Where, like, because they're gonna delay, like, they're gonna make Eris, like, I actually think they're gonna do that. Where they're going to have Eris show up after Orsted. Orsted's gonna show up, cause problems. Some sort of third agent. It might not even be Orsted. Something's gonna happen, a stone's gonna get thrown, problems are gonna happen, and then Eris pulls up later and is a clutch, strong agent to fix everything. And then in that meantime, like, they get to, like, her and Rudius get to slow, like, reconnect in, like, in a way that's, like, not as tumultuous as if she just showed up randomly on her own. Because if she just showed up on her own, that, like, right now, she'd probably have all sorts of feelings. So I feel like the show's gonna dodge that by having something else come up first, and then she's gonna show up afterwards to be a fixing agent, so that they can kind of, like, you know what I mean? Come on, turning point 17. Come on. Another domestic disaster? That sounds like they're gonna have, like, oh no, we burnt the fish tonight. It's another domestic disaster. Oh, where is the turning point, please? Okay, thoughts on the episode. I'm so ready for, like, action to happen a little bit. We've got, like, full slice. So dude, there are 5 episodes in at this point. Some people love it. You know, clearly, not as much for me, but, like, it is. The whole, I don't know, bro. I've been, it was just kind of, I don't know, obvious. Okay, let me just say what I think here. It's just kind of crazy to watch this guy, like, prepare the threesome. And it's just, like, I don't know. It's just weird to watch for me. I don't know. It's because it's just weird. I just think it's weird. Well, like, I think it's interesting. This is kind of what I mean. Let me make a point. So, like, I thought Roxy's behavior at the end of last season was pretty crazy, right? That was something I remember talking about a good amount. And then, it's like, how does the show feel about Roxy's behavior? The show actually thinks it's totally good and fine, right? Because we have Sylphie, who is the most likely to be offended party, saying stuff like, I'm glad that someone who changed his life for the better could, like, be loved by him, or whatever she says here. Loves him too, right? Like, she's, like, not only saying, like, oh, you guys love each other, but also is, like, emphasizing how much, like, she's changed his life for the better. And that's, like, that is probably more reminiscent of, like, their backstory and, like, teaching him magic and everything. But, like, it still, I think, applies to, like, Sylphie has had, like, no problems ever with Roxy, so it says that Roxy's never did anything wrong there. That's kind of the thing I mean, where it's, like, people will say stuff like, oh, the series is just, like, consequential, bro. But it's, Sylphie is choosing to, like, have there not be consequences, you know? And that feels like, kind of, like, I don't know. And it's, like, I want to see, like, there's 2 reasons to want consequences. You could want it because you think the behavior, like, is worthy of consequences. But, like, for me, I think the even more important thing nowadays for me is, like, I just want something to happen a little bit, you know? Like, I want them to, like, I don't know. You don't mind doing it together, do you? No, I'm fully prepared. And I'm just sitting here like, what am I doing, bro? I sat here, I almost made a joke of, like, I'm so mad that I'm, like, well, I was gonna make some sort of, like, cuck joke, but it's like, I'm not interested in any of what's going on in the scheme. But, you know, it's like, I'm just, like, watching this shit happen. I'm just watching these people, like, figure out their threesome. But it's not like they're having to figure out, this is the part that, like, it's like, they're not, it's not like, it's not like there's a problem. There's no problem that they're solving, right? Like, they're doing it so, it's, like, so, like, casual and normal. and like there's not even really like a speed bump. The closest thing to a speed bump is that like Rudy was kind of worried and talked to Elena Lees to Elena Lees mentioned it and then kind of wanted it to happen, or to like used it as like a leverage to get the aphrodisiac, and then Rudy was like down, and then Elena Lees like told them like, hey, check out this inn, like this inn about to go crazy, bruh. And then they like pulled up to the inn, and then yeah, like don't you see how like it's like, I feel like there could have been something about like, we could have had like some sort of like more dramatic or emotional scene, kind of playing off of like Sophie Eddy last episode, where she's like, oh, like Rudy prefers Roxy, you know, blah blah blah. But like I feel like there's like potential for that here. But then she said to make up with you here if we ever had a fight. But like instead, like she's just like fully invites like Roxy into like the sex life, which is like, I guess like it's like fine, you know. Like it's like I don't think there's anything wrong with them like doing threesomes or whatever, like whatever. But it's like it feels like they're like the momentum of like, how does Sylphie feel about Roxy? It's like, it's not interesting if everybody just feels fine about each other all the time, right? Like it's like, I don't need to be watching them just hanging out and like preparing their fucking threesome. I just don't care, man. Like, what am I supposed to be like cheering him on? Like I'm one of the classmates going like, go Rudius and your 2 wives. Like I just don't know, man. But like the thing is, I would actually be invested a lot, I think, if there was like some sort of problem and some sort of like emotional like difficulty, you know? Because it's like, relationships are hard, right? There's like, you have to put a lot of effort into them and like figure them out and like communicate and blah blah blah. And I feel like a polygamy relationship, because this is like starting to lean a little bit more, or like a open, I don't know what you would call this, polygamy, I think? Poly. I think you would call this poly, right? Well, no, but they're both here for Rudy. They're not here for each other, but they're both also fine being used is crazy. Being like engaging with each other with Rudy. So is it just a harem then? I don't know. Who cares about the terminology? But it's like it's like we're not like chewing on it, you know? It's just kind of like it's just like, it's like smooth. It feels too smooth sailing for me to like be invested in like what's going on. And then I just kind of get like bored. It's just like, that's kind of what I mean. But like, you know, like I feel it would be so engaging if there is just a little bit of turmoil that we could like sort through, you know what I mean? Like just give me a little bit of something, you know? And I think it's reasonable for Sylphie to feel that way like she did last episode. You know, we could just like build into that a little bit more, but alas. So like this first kind of like 10 minutes or whatever was like kind of whatnot. And then it is kind of crazy. It's whatever, but like to be, what are they saying? Like, I believe I've heard of a precious aphrodisiac. I'd like Cliff to go at me like a beast, at least on our wedding night. Understood? I'll do what I can to get you some. When I think of Cliff losing control because of it, and then she starts drooling, right? Right? She's like drooling at the thought of her fiance like going crazy style on her, which is like, hey, valid. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, I think that's about, you want to be drooling at the thought of your fiance going crazy style on you, okay? I feel that. It is kind of crazy to cut from that straight to the wedding chapel, though. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's sure, I don't know. I think that's fine. I don't think I actually have, like, a problem with that, but, like, it's like, oh my god, I don't know. It's very different than, like, typical social, cultural norms where, like a wedding is like kind of like, it's like romantic and it's like sweet and it's like ordained by God, which, and then usually like sexual components, like the sexual part of relationships is a little more like hush hush in like typical culture. So it's kind of, it's like, I think it's going against that. It's like, that's the culture shock feel, is that like this transition is kind of a stark transition in context of that, if that makes sense, right? But it's also like, I don't necessarily care that much about like those cultural norms. So it's like, I don't give a fuck. But like, it's just kind of crazy. I noticed it, but it's like, I don't know. Who cares? Yeah. Or like this is a good line. Just try suggesting that and watch both of your relationships fall apart. Like, Rudy is worried that him doing like a threesome with his wives would cause his individual relationships with his wives to fall apart. Okay, that's interesting. Doesn't that feel like that's like interesting? Oh, it's like, yeah, that could risk the relationships. It would be cool if we like tried to figure out like exactly like what their needs are and like try to figure it out, blah blah blah. But we don't act like, this one line is kind of all the conversation about like what does it actually mean for the relationship if y'all like engage in this like new thing with like threesomes, right? It's like Rudy's like worried for one line of like that potentially going wrong, and then he just like goes on a date with them. Elena Lee's like butters him up a little bit, and then they're both 100% immediately down, right? And it's like, so that little worry from Rudy, which I think is a cool worry, and that's like a cool insight into a relationship like this, of like, because I'm pretty monogamous. I don't think I would ever want to be in a like multiple, like I don't want to have like multiple women, or like be with multiple partners, or like have my partner have multiple partners. I'm pretty good with the one-on-one thing. I've never experimented with poly. I'm not gonna pretend that I have, but like, as far as my mind tells me, not something I'm interested in, right? But it's like, it would be interesting if I could get an insight into that world a bit better with here. And it's like, oh yeah, looking at those different relationships, or like having to juggle multiple relationships, and like how they feel about each other with like jealousy potentially and stuff, like Sylvie Eddie last episode. That's it's novel. It's something I haven't really seen before much. But we don't do anything with it, right? He just bangs them and moves on, and he just has the greatest night of his life. That's what I mean by wish fulfillment. Like, the romantic part is smooth mother trucking sailing until Eris gets here. Please, for the love of everything holy, Eris. You're literally like such a roller coaster with your character. You know what I mean? You were like my favorite part of season 1, and then you were the thing that doomed me and put me into despair for season 2. And now for season 3, you're coming back around, and you're my only hope again to like bring a little bit of energy and like drama, or just interest, or like fucking plot, or anything to like the romantic stuff, to the romantic sexual subplots, whatever. So yeah, that's why it just kind of feels like, I don't know. But then this scene where like everybody's like happy with each other, I think was cute. I don't think I have any like notes on that really. I think there was like something you could read into a little bit, like some of the Aisha stuff. Like Aisha is like so waiting for permission to like do stuff. Right? Like she gets the gift. And then she like looks over to Lilia, kind of like with a like slightly worried like expression of like, am I allowed to do this? And then Lilia gives her permission, and then she even asks again, can I open it? So like it kind of shows like how deep the like maid thing goes for Aisha, and I think that's subtle. I think that was actually a good moment. I'll give it that. I think it's cool. More waiter, more please. I like that. Thank you. Yeah, though like it is notable because I think there is a cool character concept there with Aisha about like the maid thing, and it's like, oh, I was raised like almost like groomed is the wrong word, but it's Mushoku Tensei, so I'm gonna use it. I was like groomed by my mom to be a maid for Rudy, and so like that concept, and like how does she feel about that, and like is she gonna be trapped there forever? Like, how does this impact her? How can she like maybe grow out of this? I think that's a cool concept. But the thing is, like the sexualizing thing is weird. Like the crush, the lightly incestuous, like her feelings towards Rudy, like aren't necessary for that interesting like maid thing. It kind of like, I guess, dives into it deeper, but then it could, but then it just comes off like so anime tropey that it makes me like not like want to invest seriously in Aisha and like her issues, because I think she's just kind of written there to be a trope, a little bit. But like signs like this do like her looking for permission. I think that is a good sign that there's like a little bit more depth to her character. But I'm still just not the most, like we were talking about trust a lot at the beginning of this episode. Listen, my trust has not been like it's been about half and half, I would say. Paul, every fucking piece of investment I put into Paul paid dividends, right? Soldat, loved Soldat. Soldat was great. But then anything to do with like Rudy's love life, I just feel like it has like been like underwhelming for me. Honestly, a real truth, Nuke? I think I prefer, this is gonna sound crazy, but I might believe this, okay? I need to figure out if I believe it while I say it. I might have preferred season 1, Eris and Rudy, compared to like the stuff in the last 5 episodes. Because at least that like, they were taking that seriously sometimes, and there was like plot there, and there was like emotion there, and it felt dark, right? Like, I felt like my soul had been stepped on when I was watching some of that happen. It was like upsetting me, And it's like, you gotta put a little bit of respect on a piece of media if it's making you have that strong of a visceral reaction. And I think it was doing that. Now, would I say that I liked it in season 1? No, go watch those reactions so you can see how I felt about it, But like, I was taking it seriously, if nothing else. And like, I think there was a world that I even liked it, depending on like the tone just kept throwing me off so much. But like, I remember like being really invested in Eris, especially right after the end of season 1. And I was thinking like, bro, what's this gonna do to her character? Like all this like dark shit with Rudy and like losing everyone and like the sex. It's like I was like so invested, right? And it's like that investment is something I don't get slightly for Roxy or Solfieri. Because it's just kind of been like, it's been too smooth sailing, so it's like boring, right? It doesn't bring my like, it doesn't make me invest. Like, what is there to invest in? That they're just having like a nice relationship where there's no problems? Oh, bitch, like, I don't know. You know, it's like, that's where it like, it's under for me. And then like, I kind of feel that way towards Aisha a little bit as well. Because it's just like, yeah. But other stuff this episode, I'm about to jump into the next episode, so I don't need to go too crazy here. Also, because like, I don't know. I don't know, man. Roxy, you're a water mage, but you fish. Like, you're getting cucked in your own magic. Fucking just put it in already. But like, cucking's nothing new. I don't know. Something. Cuck queen, something. I mean, like, I actually think it's like, Chad, if you want to be a cuck queen, be a cuck queen. I don't care. All right, what you do in your bedroom is not up to me. All right, I consent. I don't. You know, I actually made. Oh my goodness, wait. Let me maybe show that to y'all real quick. It was like one of my. I was gonna use it as a thumbnail. Do I still have it? Yeah, I do. Wait, I'll show it to you on y'all right here. This is potentially what I was gonna do as the thumbnail for last episode, but then I was just like, this is fucking brain rot. The myth of consensual sex. And then it's Rudy and it's Roxy. I consent. Sylphie, I consent. Me in the background, I don't. Isn't there somebody you forgot to ask? But yeah, it's like, yeah, like I was kind of doing this as like a tongue-in-cheek, like I'm aware of what's going on. You know, like it's not for me to decide what like if like another relationship is healthy, you know. I guess that's the big question. It would like an abusive relationship is bad, and I'd be allowed to like say that that relationship shouldn't happen if like the woman is or like the man or the woman is getting like beaten. That would be bad, right? And we could all agree there. But like if people are just like if they're into like some kink stuff, like ooh, I kind of like watching my man or my woman get like, you know, banged. I find that kind of hot, and y'all find a way to make it healthy and like which requires, by the way, a metric ton of communication. I think the more that you bring other people into it, the more you necessitate communication. But hell, if you're able to do it, then congrats. You know what I mean? Like I don't care, bro. I'm not trying to be like a purist. I just am worried that people are getting taken advantage of, right? And like that's kind of like the thing with Sylphie is like Sylphie does express some levels of like jealousy or whatever, but then the show just never does anything with it, and then Sylphie's just kind of like fine with it. And so it's like I guess she's fine with it, but that's like A, that's boring for plot, and then B, it kind of like, is she really? I don't know, but like if she is saying it, like then she's making her own bed. She's an adult, right? And so if she's like saying shit like you don't mind doing it together, do you? And she's smiling and like all that, then it's like, sure, dude. Who cares? Like it's not up to anyone else to like say that's like whatever. But like if you're being unhealthy, then like el bozo. You know what I mean? I just, and I think I kind of mentioned it, but like I kind of feel like this should have been a conversation that like Rudy would have with each of them individually instead of this, because I feel like this puts like slightly weird. This is me like definitely nitpicking a little bit, but like I feel like Rudy should have had a conversation with each of them individually about like, hey, you know, I really like you. I really like this other, like my other wife, you know, is that something you'd be comfortable with? And like, what's nice about doing it individually is you get to like have the clear communication without any like peer pressure. Whereas like here, like I already booked the room and y'all are both standing next to each other, and then he turns around and is like, so we trying to do a threesome? Right? Like that's actually bad communication. He didn't communicate anything to them, right? Like he had already, like there's already like the room pressure. He's already kind of like treating it as if it's already happening, and then they're needing to like clear it with each other first because they haven't like cleared it beforehand, right? Like that I think is actually having handled it poorly, that they're needing to like clarify with each other now, you know? Like I think that's actually a misplay, and like he should have just talked to them both individually beforehand. That would have been the healthier thing to do, right? More communication is key. And it's good that them two decide to communicate with each other here for like 3 lines. But like imagine if Sylphie like looked over and was like, I don't know, I don't want you to spend too much time with Roxy and forget about me. And then like he has to be like, oh no, blah 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 blah. Like this is a conversation I feel like she was like had the right to have with her husband alone. You know what I mean? So I feel like this like entire thing, like A, is kind of like underwhelming because it's like there's no drama, it's kind of like a little boring to me. You know, because like nothing happens. It's like, why am I watching this, right? And then he gets to like, I'm just watching like Rudy like coom a little bit at the thought of like banging his 2 wives, right? That kind of feels like the extent of like what I got out of it. But like more than that, it also feels like a kind of unhealthy way to like communicate in a relationship like this. Like as far as I would judge, you know? And so that's the kind of thing. It's like, well, what is that telling like people about these kinds of relationships? Episode 6, let's just jump into it. 3 to 1. Daddy's here. That's what I say every time I look in the mirror, by the way. How much? Has she got a lot older? Did we time skip a bit? This child? Okay. Oh, I forgot about Suzanne. That's a throwback. I was gonna mention that Lucy's face was like pissing me off, but that's rude of me, so I won't feel that way. Oh my, wait, pause. I need to remember which one you were. Do I have you in my notes? Oh, you were part of Counter Arrow, right? Wait, no, what's your name? Are you Suzanne? Wait, what did you literally just say? Suzanne. Okay, so yeah, you were part of Counter Arrow with all of them, and yeah, Timothy was one of the other members. Okay. Just make sure I had my memories correct. 41 seconds in, 3 to 1. Wait, run it back. Sorry. I looked down at my phone. It was bad. I'm sorry. 42 seconds, 3 to 1. Huh? You've really changed, right? They emphasize how Rudy has changed. That's what I mean by like the show wants to have the theme of redemption or change or like second life. You know, it's not just like... You know what I mean? I never thought you'd get married and like have a daughter. It's like, oh, you've changed so much. You're able to do this now. Like, you see? It's like, that's the intention of the show. Okay. Oh my god, are we gonna? Are we planning to talk to Sarah? I just gotta remember that went poorly. Yeah, I don't really... Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember that well enough to be able to... I need to look again. I'm so glad that she's doing better. Aw, cute. Your grandma, bro. You're grunk. You wanna speak? Grandma's scary, bro. Holy motherhood instincts. Holy motherhood. Imagine this entire season is slice of life. You would understand that. Wait, is my computer bugging? That was weird. My recording just like bugged for a second. Okay, sorry. 244, 3 away. Oh yeah, those weird... I remember those animals. The W animal, bro.
旅といっても国内の祠を回るだけだが、護衛は自分で用意しなければならないようだ。もともと護衛していた冒険者パーティーに病欠が出たんですよね。
はい、我々はその補充要員ということになります。
アリエル様も同行すると聞いたんですが。
なんでもラノア王女と交流を持ちたいとかで。
すごいですね。コネを作るためとはいえ、魔物が出る森にまでついてくるなんて。
私としては護衛対象の王族が2人に増えてしまったことの方が
Don't trust that bald guy.
不安と言いますか。
Never trust a bald man.
だからルディが来てくれて私は
Except for Northern Lion. I trust that man. Anybody trying to jump on the cruise, bro?
頼りにしています。
Wait, so you're doing a side quest, protect a royal?
あら、もしかしてアスラ王国でも？ええ、城の中に庭園がございます。そういったことはどこも一緒なのですね。
なんだ貴様らは。名を名乗れ。
はじめまして、ロキシー・ミグルディア・グレイラットと申します。
ルーデウス・グレイラットです。
グレイス様、こちらがお伝えした王女様の護衛を務めていただく二人になります。
Grace, Grace definitely a little bit, like, okay, no, you're chill, you're chill.
私は騎士グレイスだ。
Grace, take her job seriously, I can tell. But you chill, alright.
他に冒険者の方々もいると伺っておりますが。アマゾネスエースという冒険者パーティーだ。そろそろ
Amazon Ace. Oh, is Sarah gonna be part of it? That's her name, right? That we were just talking about? Because she's still an adventurer, right? Maybe that's why we brought her up.
変なの言えるぐらいなら私だけの方が絶対マシだって。
あんた一人に背中を任せられるほど私は自分の実力を過信しちゃいないつもりさ。
Come on. Yeah! Drama! 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 Low. That's awkward. Drama.
誰？知り合い？まあね。
Rudy, you gotta remind your wives and also me what happened. Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you, bro.
気が強くて、でも頭はそんなに悪くない女の子。何度か一緒に依頼を受けるうちに、俺は彼女に惚れられた。惚れられていたんだと思う。対して俺の気持ちはというと、よくわからなかった。それを確かめる前に関係が進展し。
Oh, right. Yeah.
終わったこと。彼女とはもう二度と会うこともない。
I recall.
と思っていたのだが。
Damn, like, you really couldn't get any action with me, but you got two wives right there. That's kind of crazy. Yo, there's no way we gain third wife from Sarah. Sarah's some random, bro. You don't have colored hair, okay? You are not part of the harem. You're a blonde, okay? I only take red, white, and blue. Like fucking America, dude. Yo, wait. Rudius is a proud American. His wives are red, white, and blue. I'm just counting Eris as one of his wives because I fully believe that that's like, yeah. It's just a matter of time, bro. Red, white, and blue. W American, bro. No wonder he fucks with Quagmire. No wonder he's a pedophile. Sorry, look, I'm trolling too much. I'm trolling too much.
噂は本当だったようだな。
攻撃魔術と治癒魔術の配分感服しました。
Oh, what?
きっちり実践できる人。
Oh, I like you, Druid.
よく言うよ。最初はこんなガキと一緒は嫌だとかのたまってたくせに。生言っちゃってすみませんでした。
いいですよ。よくあることなので。
ロキシーが周りに崇められている光景は見ていて心地いいものがあるな。
Keyword reference. Shout out the Roxyism shrine.
師匠なんすよ。
Shout out the panties.
じゃあお姫さんたちが戻ってくる前に食事を用意するよ。あのさ、ルーデウス。俺が食事用意します。戦闘では役に立ってないし。
Rudy, you gotta talk to her, bro. Don't stonewall her. That's such a dick thing to do.
昔の女か。お前は何があったか知ってるのか？
なんとなくは知ってるけど。
帰りも魔物と遭遇する可能性はあるんだ。
Live Sophietti
しっ
reaction.
かりしてもらいたいところだが。
では礼拝はうまくいったのですね。はい、アリエル様のおかげでここの巡礼は楽しく終えられそうです。それは良かったです。お姉様、よかったら道中で魔術を教えてくれませんか？まあ構いませんが。やった、お姉様ありがとう。お姉様というのは。
ああ、
Bruh.
ロキシーの方との温度差がひどい。俺もあっちに混ざりたい。俺もロキシーからお兄様とか言われてみたい。
ルディ、知り合いなんでしょ？
Go talk to her, dude.
せめて話ぐらい。
Thank you, Sylphie.
いや、分かってはいるんだけど。
なんだか喉が渇きましたね。道中に黄色い実がなっていましたよね。
わがままで申し訳ありませんが、あれが食べたいです。
I would lose my mind guarding
取っ
these
てきてくれま
nobles.
せんか？わかった。取ってくるよ。森の中を
Actual
一人で
fetch
歩くのは
quest.
許し
Are you
ない
gonna
ですよ
assign
ね。
Rudy?
ルーデスさん、ピッツ、ついていって
Okay,
差し上げてく
I
ださい。
see. I see. You're the tech. This is your tech.
という感じなのだろうか。
My fault. I thought you were just being dumb, but no,
Yeah.
you're real. That's
Rudy
strategic.
だけで十
I
分でしょ。
appreciate it.
僕はアリエル様のおそばにいます。
Dang.
いいのですか？
大丈夫です。
She talking in like she talking beside he won't run. Dude, they're talking like in another language.
ああ、そうか。
True.
俺は逃げていたのか。
Okay, hi Roxy. Why are you looking at me like that?
ダメだよな。
Hello? Any thoughts in
ルー
there?
デスさん、よろしいですか？
はい。
冒険者続けてたんだな。それどういう意味？
Immediate aggression. What's that supposed to mean? Damn.
冒険者を辞めただろ。パトリスも兵士になるためにアスラ王国に戻ったって聞いたから。サラはどうしてたんだ？いろんなパーティーを転々としてたよ。けど永久になってからはずっと今のところ。女ばっかのパーティーなんて初めて見たよ。低ランク帯だと結構多いみたいだけどね。C 級以上になってくると性別より実力を取るからそんなに見かけないかな。私も入ったのは初めてだったけど。
People start looking for skill rather
女だ
than
けだと
gender.
利点も多いんだ。
I
依頼人がひいきして
okay.
く
I
れ
guess
る場合もあるしね。
okay.
王女の護衛なら女だけのパーティーが適任だもんな。
It's kind of a weird reasoning, but sure. I won't get into it. That's fine. I think it makes sense. It makes sense if you think about it the right direction. Lol. But also, shout out my lesbians out there.
あんたこそどうなのさ。
She seems relatively
結
chill
婚
about
し
this
て
all.
子供もできて奥さん二人と毎日
Like
よろ
she's like
しくやって
smiling
る
and stuff.
スザンヌから聞いたよ。それはそのごめん。別に謝ってほしいわけじゃない。
Okay. Damn. Yo, girl. Yo smiles, says, I'm not looking for apology, and then is like crumpled over here. Yo, you good? Yeah, right. Thank you, Birdie. Yeah, give her a little apology. Give her a little bit of... No.
何話していいか分かんなくて。でも無視するのは良くなかった。ごめん。だから謝ってほしいわけじゃないって言ってるじゃん。隣に座ってもいいの？奥さんに叱られるよ。
His wives don't give a fuck about that kind of thing.
すぐ説明するさ。
From experience.
王女の護衛のあの子がそうだったんだ。スザンヌから聞かなかった？シルフィエットって名前だけだよ。でもそっか。ローリでね。ロキシー。青い髪の魔族の人もね。え？あっちもなの？ロキシーって、前に言ってた魔術の師匠？ああ。へえ。私さ、ずっとあんたに謝らなきゃって思ってたんだ。謝るって、サラが俺に？うん。あんたと別れた後さ、あんたがその病気だったって知ったんだ。
Found out that you were...
なのに私は自分ばっかが傷つけられたって思ってあんたを悪者にしてさ。もっと大人だったら気づけたのかな。あんたも死にたくなるぐらい傷ついてたこと。ごめん。今だからわかるんだけどさ。俺多分あの頃サラのことそんなに好きじゃなかったと思うんだ。
What do you go? Keep digging?
病気になった原因エリスって子なんだけど、その子に捨てられたと思ってさ。
You were my rebound,
そんな時
dude.
にサラが好意を寄せてくれたから、とりあえず次に行って前のことは忘れてしまおうとか思ってたんだ。でもそれがうまくいかなくて、自分を守るためにひどいことを言った。サラに対して紳士じゃなかったんだ。
Okay, I'm glad he's... Yeah.
謝る
Okay, thank you, Rudy.
あんた
I'll take
変わ
that.
ったね。
そうか。
昔のあんたならたとえ嘘でもそんなこと言わなかった。こんな気安い口調で話したりはしてくれなかったよ。
確かに当時の俺は相手に必要以上に
Yo, to anybody out there saying that this story is not about like Rudy's change / growth, I need you to like open your eyes.
嫌われたくなかったから。でも今は
自信をもらったんだ。
奥さんに？
そう、俺の病気を献身的に治そうとしてくれたのがシルフィーなんだ。彼女初めてだってのにさ、自分の体だけじゃなくて美白まで使ってくれて。
それはね。
Yeah, I don't want to... Yeah, tell him that to... Okay, sure.
でもそんなにしてくれた相手なのに2人目も迎えたっていうの？
そう思うよな。
Yes.
同じことをしてくれた。大切な人を失って何もかもが全部
Oh, so close! Bro, I feel like she took advantage of you, but sure, dude. But, bro, she was just into you,
で
dude.
きなかったね。
I don't know.
多分当時病気のことを知っててもさ、そこかな。私があんたに好きになってもらえなかったのは。
確かにシルフィーもロキシーも俺を好きでいてくれる。でもそれ以上に俺が二人を好きなんだ。サラや他の女性と違いがあるとしたらそこだろ。
あのさ、勘違いしないでよね。私の恋はあの日に終わったの。そりゃ事情も知らずにひどいことを言っちゃったから謝りたいとは思ってたけど、それだけ。今さらよりを戻したいなんてこれっぽっちも思ってないの。だからあんたもあんまり申し訳なさそうな顔しないで。昔の仲間として普通に接してよね。
W communication?
ああ、わかった。
Alright, thanks, Sarah. Yeah, I'll see you at work. Cuts to them at work. Damn, that is a strong-ass jaw from that bear. Dude. What the fuck is that? Yo, never mind Orsted. What is wrong with this tree? It's got like beams of light inside of it. Oh, okay, no, it's dead. Scary-ass tree. That thing like snuck up on him too. Is that thing not a stagnant object? That thing can like shift around the woods? Like, how did that thing catch up off guard? Problematic entity.
またお会いできますか？はい、いつの日かまた。ロキシーお姉様にもっといろんな魔術を教えてもらいたい。いや、その。あ、なんだったら私たちのパーティー
Dude,
に入
forehead
って
in
く
the
ださい。
back is not having fun here.
今の仕事は充実していますし、夫もいますし。
大丈夫ですって。男なんてちょっとぐらい放置しといても久しぶりに会ったらチヤホヤしてくれますから。アリサ、その辺にしときな。
はい。
Look at Rudy is standing right there. Okay, we zoomed on him. Now I feel bad. My fault. Didn't mean to like point you out like that.
ああ、元気でな。
そっちこ
Yeah,
そ。
I'll see you.
奥さん2人とも仲がいいみたいだけど、比べちゃダメだから
You
ね。
better not compare them.
はい、肝に銘じておきます。
よし。じゃあね。
Alright. Later. Sophietti be staring. With them big old eyes. Sophietti, please have a nuclear armament to drop.
あのまま別れちゃってよかったの？
どういう意味？
あの子、ルディが昔好きだった子なんでしょ？
好きじゃなかったんだと思う。いろいろとウブだったから少し迷っただけだよ。
そっか。じゃあさ、ルディはどんな子が好きなの？
Dude, you're married to the guy! Okay, sorry.
私も興味あります。
Okay.
そうだな。 どうやら俺は俺の窮地を救ってくれる子を特別に思うらしい。
それ
Found a way to say both of them at the same time. They're like, well.
それ僕らが特別だったってこと？
Nah, y'all are just nothing, bro. Y'all are just my side pieces for the main wife that's pulling up later. Don't you worry. They're like, obviously. Okay, sorry. 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 Bro, Orston's gonna have your head, like, in his arms? Oh, sure! Oh, sure! Yeah! No. Orston's gonna have you in a chokehold, and then Erison's gonna come in with the flying knee. Sophie literally saying, please wipe up some more, bro. Bro! Sophie Eddie saying, keep gathering them, bro. Sophie, mother trucking elf Eddie, dude. Yo, Roxy, how you feel about this? She just smiling?
ちゃんと僕たちの前に連れてきてね。ルディのことが好きでも何でもないのに妻になろうなんて子はさすがに許さないからね。ああ。これは約束して。隠れてこそこそ付き合って、いつの間にか子供もできてましたなんてなったら、いくら僕でも。はい。
I'm sure you'd come around, Sophia. I do not actually think you have much limits. That's okay. Okay, no, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Yo, what's up, Eris? Yo, damn, we just got to you like that. Hey! What the fuck? Dude, that line is so good. Who even is Sophie Mother Truck and what are you? Yo, shut the fuck up about your power scaling for a second. Is that, what's his name? Gino? Let's go with you, Gino, bro. That line was crazy. In that case, I can't wait to see what kind of girl you'll bring home next. She's like on her hands and knees begging for him to bring more. Like, give me another sister wife, bro. I cannot. That's actually crazy to me. Sophia, you gotta be into it. Like, he didn't even bring this. She brought this up, and then he was like, I promise I won't have more. And she was like, well, if you had more, that'd be okay. Sophia! I mean, like, I don't know, but it's like, at that point, like, it's like, it almost feels like you're enabling or something. Like, you're begging for it. I don't get it, bro. 2041 third ring. That line is so, and it's like, Orston's, we gotta subvert this. Orston, like, can you show up with Eris's head, like, cut off? I'll take it at this point, bro. You think I care? I'm fine if all of them die. I don't need any of them anymore, okay? I just need something, man. Just subvert me a little bit. Give me a little, you can't. You're literally begging for red, white, and blue to take place. And, well, or green. I mean, like, you know, because Sophia can be white or green, depending on the day. But, like... Talk about some sword shit. First new Sword King since Girain. We all got that shot on lock.
剣聖、剣王、剣帝、剣神。その違いは何だと思う、ジノ？技以外の足運びの巧みさや筋力。
Gino is literally here to like intellectually job to the other two. Yeah, that was like ridiculous. What do you mean it's about their weapons, bro? The sword god would cook you with a toothpick, bro.
まあいい。わからなくても強いやつは強いからな。よし、じゃあニナ答えてみろ。
欲望ですか？
お前最近なんか色気づいてきたな。
Can we go like one conversation without talking about like fucking someone? Please, for the love of God.
例えばだ。ジノと結婚するのと剣王になるのとどっちか。
What are you doing to her, bro? I guess that is okay. Whatever. Let's see.
剣王を選びます。
Gino, no. No. That's crazy. Yo, Gino's right there. Gino's right there. That was the perfect response to what he said. I'm gonna get stronger no matter what you label me, bro. Like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. Fuck you and your labels. I'm just a goat.
お前たちのうち勝った方を剣王とする。
But also, it's just for the sake of strength. Like, who gives a frick about? Eris, think about marrying think about Rudy, bruh. And right now, Scipiotti is currently saying, I wonder which wife you're gonna bring home next. Right in that exact moment. It just, they're like spiritually aligned, bro. Sylphietti is gonna swing through the sword, bro. And Roxy. Mogged. No. Now throw the sword at her. Oh, they both hit each other. Okay. Not bad, Nina. Got a hit on her. But she kept standing, bruh. Valid tears. I'd be tearing up too. Well played, Nina. Even more well played, Eris, obviously. Was it ever even a question? Okay, episode 7. Give me the title. Turn it. Yeah! Wait, that could be good though. What does phase 4 mean? It's not turning point, but like maybe. Phase 4. Eris coming in. Okay, so like Sylphietti, can we like have a conversation? What is there even to say? I don't know, bro. It's just like like you can marry anybody as long as they love you. Right? She's just fully down to clown. You know what I mean? And it's just like, yeah, it's just W episode of the Sister Wives, I guess. Dude, this sort of thing, like, I think they're just being flirty or whatever, but this actually pissed me off, bro. What sort of girl do you like, then? I could slap the shit. Okay, let's relax a little bit. I'm not slapping. Sophie is sweet. We don't need to slap her. But, like, what sort of girl do you like, then? You tongue-in-cheek bastard, okay? Like, you are literally married to him. And then Roxy's ass is like, me too. I am girl. Like, let people, but I go, like, I don't know. It's fine. Do not slap either of them. It's fine. Everything's fine here. Yo, bro. Can we go back to Nanahoshi or Soldat? The Sarah stuff was I guess. I could talk about that a little bit, I suppose. I don't know. But like, I don't like, what sort of girl do you like then? I'd like to, like, the little stutter. Oh, she's such a nervous little Nelly. Like, bro, you're both married to him. And they're saying shit like this cutesy, stupid, like, does that mean we're, look at them, look at their fucking, like, look at the way they're looking, bro. Look at the fucking light in their eyes, bro. Don't you just want to snuff that light out? Okay. I'm the good guy, by the way. It's literally, I feel like it's literally, okay, so like, what they're setting up, and they're setting it up so obviously that if they do it this way, it's, I think, actually cringe. Like you have to subvert it now. Because, like, he's literally just saying, I love girls who are gonna show up and save my life. You know what I mean? Or, like, not necessarily my life, but, like, because, you know, it could be, like, a little more metaphorical. But, like, girls who save me when I need it are pretty rare. And then he starts thinking about Eris, and then we cut to Eris, and Sophie says, like, oh yeah, it's fine if you get another wife as long as she loves you. Like, we've already completely clear, before Eris has even walked into this picture, all 3 of the people here are completely fine with Eris walking into the picture, and they don't even know Eris is gonna walk into the picture, except maybe Rudy. Rudy's, like, thinking about it, right? But, like, Sophie and Roxy don't even know, are, like, unaware of, like, that's going to happen. But, like, me and Rudy are fully aware that shit's gonna happen. But, despite that, Sylphietti is going out of her way to like it's like she doesn't even know this shit's gonna happen, and she's already saying things that completely confirms that she's okay with it, right? Isn't that, I feel like that's just crazy to me, you know? It's like, it almost like could you be more obvious? Like, if it's like, is this really what Sylphietti would be saying here, or is this just being said for the sake of like preemptively okaying the thought of Eris joining in, right? If she's saying stuff like, if someone is special to you and they feel you're special too, I wouldn't have a problem with 2 or 3 people like that. And then we cut to Eris, you know? And then she says, fucking, I can't wait to see what kind of girl you'll bring home next, right? Like, she's literally accepting that there will be another girl coming in. There's not even a prospect in that she's aware of. Like Rudy is kind of thinking about Eris, right? But, like, I guess maybe in her internal monologue she's thinking of something else, but at least, like, she's not verbalizing, like, anyone specific. So it's crazy for her to be like, yeah, no, I bet it's all be good, you know, like, you know, whatever you're feeling, baby, you know what I mean? it's I don't know, man. It's just like, can we be any more obvious? That's why, like, we gotta, like, we can't, like, what? We're gonna, okay. Because what they're setting up is what I was saying earlier this episode, of, like, I wouldn't be surprised if shit hits the fan and then Eris shows up to kind of save Rudy, and then that kind of, like, makes it so that she's already accepted because she's already done Rudy such a big service and, like, done such a big display of, like, love. Like, I was talking about that earlier as, like, what's probably gonna happen, and this just, like, makes that, like, 10 times more the case. Because she's literally saying, like, somebody that cares about you, I'm fine with you marrying them on top. Like, add them into the pile at this point, you know? And then he's saying, like, well, the only girls that are special to me that, like, I get feelings for are the ones that save me when I'm in a bad place. And it's like, okay, so Eris is going to save him when he's in a bad place, and then Sophie's going to be totally fine with it. Roxy is fucking just smiling along, like, she doesn't give a fuck. So yeah, it's like, is there even going to be... Like, the only drama is potentially, the only potential, like, interest I have in the entire romance plot, other than just us, like, romantically fucking masturbating of, like, oh, look how cute, they're so cute, they're so sweet, blah, blah, blah. That's fucking brain rot, I don't care. The only part that actually is juicy to me is that Eris is probably gonna feel betrayed, you know? But the other two are just gonna be like, no, and like, oh, please, I'm on my knees, bro, I'm on my knees. Have Eris pull up and cut Sophie's head off as she's being like, no, you can marry him too, it's fine. And then she doesn't give a fuck, bro. Just start being a problem. Just be a mad dog. I don't care, bro. I don't know, man. Or like, even this, like, I guess you have started thinking about boys lately. Like it's so in every part of the story. Like, it's just everywhere, man. You know what I mean? It feels constant that we're bringing up, like romance or, like, desire or whatever. And I guess it's, like, I guess you could say it's because it's, like, the theme, so they're constantly trying to address the theme, but, like, I just, obviously, I'm a I have, like, a distaste, so it's, like, it just throws me off, you know? Like, I'm trying to enjoy the little, like, scene or whatever, and twice we bring up, like, you know, romance as fuel. But it's, like, fun, and that's obviously what they're trying to do. I just think the entire romance thing is so crazy that it's like, it just, the theme doesn't, like, work for me, because it's like, bro, are we dead ass? Like, yeah, like, man, like, she didn't even get to struggle with it, bro. There's no struggle, there's no payoff. It's literally just like, oh, I guess it's fine. You bring more. Like, why are we pre-moving? Sophia is pre-moving, pre-firing the potential future conflict, and is like making it clear there's no conflict. And it's like, bro, then why am I here, bro? I already see like, the ending has already been written right here. Don't you see that? Which is why they have to subvert it. Because if they don't subvert it, it's like, we already know exactly what's gonna happen, you know? Like, Sylphie is telling us what's gonna happen, right? And so it's like, I don't get it, man. I feel like that takes the fun away, you know? And it's something of, like, don't go, like, if you start seeing someone behind my back and spring a kid on me, even I have my limits. Sure. I don't believe you. I do, like, but this is a, like, I guess the boundary you're trying to set of, like, if you want to, like, start hooking up with another lady, you can't spring a kid on me. That's, like, the only boundary she set, in which case if he did that, he would be, like, cheating on her. But it's, like, based on just the rest of Sylphie, bro, I think she would bend over immediately. I don't think she would care. Or like kneel, or like give up. Sorry, bend over. The sexual language is just like seeping into my own vocabulary. I'm saying shit like bend over when I don't need to be. God damn it. Yeah, no, it's like Sylphie actually, like, absolutely, it's like, this is what I mean by, like, the worshipful thing and, like, the wish fulfillment thing, is there is no pushback from Sylphie motherfucking Eri, bro. It's just pure devotion, love, and, like, worship, and then Roxy is just sitting here with, like, one brain cell bouncing around her skull, and that one brain cell knows how to cast water magic, and that's it, right? It's going ding, 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 and there's, like, no thoughts head empty otherwise, right? Like, Roxy, you don't got takes on this? Where's the takes at, bro? You know what I mean? Right, Roxy, you got no takes on any of this? She's just looking back and forth, smiling, and then being like, oh, you think I'm special, yeah? Yeah, Roxy, oh, man, I was just, my thought, because, so, okay, I did the test in my head of, like, how much would I care if, like, Orsted, like cleaved both of them in half right now? You know what I mean? Like, and I think I would be so thrilled. And I think that makes me sound like a psycho, but like, hear me out. Because wouldn't that just be so interesting compared to like what's happening? Like, I feel like that would be, I want them to get cleaved in half just because I want something to happen. I need Rudy to like have something to go through. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is too easy, bro. It's so easy. We need to like, I need plot, bro. I need something to happen. And like, leaving them in half seems like the way to do that, dude. That would be, dude, could you imagine? I would actually gain so much respect for the series if it, like, murdered one of the three wives, right? Holy aura. Could you imagine if it was, like, just this cruel and terrible fate? Like, Orsted pops up and then spear hands through Sylphie's skull as Rudy is just like, yeah! Like, oh my god. It would like, shit would be hitting the fan! Like, cause otherwise, Sylvie is just like, obviously this, like, not like parasitic leech, but it's like a reversal leech, you know? She's like attached onto Rudius and it's just pumping him full of nutrients constantly. Like, I don't know, man. And so it's like, I just don't, I don't know, man. I don't get it. This baby, by the way, bro, I don't know why this baby was, like, pissing me off, but that's a me problem. I'll accept that. It might be cuteness aggression, right? I have pretty bad cuteness aggression. W Lucy, don't get it twisted. W Lucy. But, like, I don't know. I think this expression, I think it's the elf ears, bro. I think I'm just a little bit elf racist. I'm gonna be so real with you. I think that's it. But W Lucy, W child, okay? You know, being a parent's a beautiful thing. I don't want to, like, I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm just saying that personally, there's something about this face that just doesn't. Like, yo, get your hands off me, bro. It's fine. I forgot you existed. You pulled it up just to, whatever, it's fine. Pulled up just to remind us that Sarah exists, but it's okay. What's up, Sarah? The whole Sarah thing, so that was like the other part of the arc. I mean, like, what was the entire point of this? Like, the two royals wanted to get to know, I believe she wants to get to know the Princess of Renoa. So we're just doing like a field trip. Okay. It's kind of random, but sure, some of the princesses want to hang out and like they were having fun, I guess. But then, yeah, so Sarah, it's funny. Like, the Sarah thing was so long ago. Like, I mean, that was beginning of season 2, right? That was a while ago. And so, and like that, so it's like funny that's both a while ago for them and also a while ago for like us, the audience, right? And so like a lot of the like whatever feelings I felt back then, I'm kind of like over and like I don't really care about anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even remember how much I was mad at Rudius or Sarah or whatnot. Like, I remember the situation, but I don't feel like passionate about it, like, either direction, because it was a while ago, and I don't think the characters do either, right? They both kind of, like, find some level of, like, peace with what was going on, and, like, are able to, like, have a pretty chill conversation. And I kind of like that. I think that's cool. That they're able to, like, kind of have that. I think it's, like, a little bit, I don't remember, like, that's the thing, of, like, she is very, I don't remember how rude Rudy was. I feel like he was just saying that crazy shit at the end, and then also had the embarrassing thing with the ED, but that's also not his fault. The ED is not his fault, right? But I feel like he was saying, like, that shitty stuff at the end, and that's why she slapped him. And so it's, like, I don't remember how bad that was, but I guess I don't really care too much. Because she came in, like, super, like, apologetic, right? Like, she was refusing his apology and then trying to, like, apologize herself about, like, you were sick and I didn't know. Which is, like, really, that's, like, very nice of her, and I almost wonder if it's, like, a little too nice of her, maybe. But I think it's fine. And, like, the big thing for me is, like, it's just been a while. It's been a while of time, and, like, people get over it. You know what I mean? Like, that's the big thing. Where it's like, maybe I could, like, go rewatch the scene and then come back here and be like, girl, you shouldn't be, like, being this sympathetic with him. He sucks, blah, blah, blah. I could do all that shit. Who cares? That's so much extra work. And it's like not worth the effort, right? And I don't mean that, like, in a conversation way. I mean that in, like, almost, like, in-world way. Where, like, it was a while ago for them. They've been both, like, doing their own thing in their own lives. And they're both, like, fulfilled enough with what they're doing that they're, like, able to talk with each other and be like, yeah, that was kind of crazy. You know, sorry about, like, our mutual, like, feelings kind of, like, not going well. And blah, blah, blah. So I don't think I mind the, like, the kind of apology back and forth thing. Even if, like, maybe it was, like, like, it does situate Rudius as somebody that, like, was a victim and, like, blah, 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 but he's also very apologetic, which is good of him. It definitely, like, props Rudius up a lot for her to be so, like, on his side kind of instantly. And so it's kind of just another case of, like, Rudy getting, like, propped up when it comes to, like, emotional stuff. And then he's, like, all humble because he's, like, all apologetic and stuff. And so it's kind of, it feels like a little bit, like, I don't know if repetitive is the right word, with, like, the, like, just kind of how, like, Sophie is, and, like, Roxy too, I guess, where it's kind of, like, Rudius is just the GOAT, and he's, like, all, like, oh, you know, I promise not to do it again, but, like, Sophie's, like, whatever. It's kind of like that, where it feels so, like, on his side, but I think it's fine, I don't know, I just don't care. Like, in a vacuum, I think it's totally a fine scene, and it's kind of cute to see them, like, be able to reconnect in a nice way, though, like, she was also, like, saying stuff like, what was she saying? Like, he opens up about Eris a little bit, which is cool. I mean, she's like glazing like how much he's changed and stuff, which again is just like, this is what the story is trying to do, and it, like, that's why and again, that's like my core thing is like the story is trying to do like some level of a redemption arc, right? Like Rudy has changed in between his lives, but then the wish fulfillment lobotomies of the romance characters, like, undercut it, you know? Like, I think it would be so much more earned if there was, like, actual, like, pushback and, like, conversation about the things he does, whether it be wanting to murder Julie because people have eyes and they can see, or they have mouths. They can be like, hey, what was up with you talking to the child in a different language with your hand up to her throat? That's kind of crazy, right? Like, we could, if we actually, like, gave him more confrontation and, like, back and forth about these things, I think it would be, like, it would be so much better. It would like be more worthwhile. It would be more earned, you know? And for him to, like, just go through hard things and, like, suffer, like, because, like his family getting, like, all fucked over with, like, Paul and Zenith, mom, whatever, like, that isn't fixing the problem. You see what I mean? Like, the problem is that the thing that he is growing the most about is his relationship to family and, like, the close relationships he have, right? That was what was so shitty with him in his past life, and then what he's, like, the most active with in this life. And those, like, the relationships he has with his wives and stuff is, like, it lacks, I feel like, the conflict for him to even overcome. It would be so much more worthwhile if he, like, had to overcome that. And again, the conflict to overcome is not like, oh, bad guy shows up and, like, he fights them or whatever. That's not the conflict, right? The conflict is, like, the more, like, emotional, how do we actually parse the relationship shit? And that stuff is just, like, fucking easy mode, you know? So he can't grow off of that. Like, he's too privileged to be able to grow. That's how it feels, right? He's gotten too many, like good, like, free passes. Like, Sophietti is the freest motherfucking pass in the world. This line is, like, literally, like, you can do no wrong. We both gonna be, like, sucking your dick in Shaft earlier. Like, or later, right? Like, it's easy mode, you know? And that's, I feel like, such a letdown for a story that's about, like, Rudy changing and, like redeeming or just trying to live a second life, you know, whatever. It's like, when there's not that conflict in that way, it kind of, like, you know? Except Eris. Eris, I don't feel like Eris has had conflict back and forth, and he feels abandoned, and she's gonna show up and probably feel betrayed, and because they're bad at communicating and blah, blah, blah. That's actual plot, right? That's good. I feel like Sophietti and Roxy are just lobotomized in comparison. So Eris obviously clears the both of them, like, by a fucking mile, because Eris, as much as she is also worshipful and devoted and, like, ever loving of Rudius, which is the same as the other two, you know? Like, even despite that, at least we can smell the conflict, right? And the conflict gives Rudy something to overcome, which then makes the change, like, a worthwhile and, like, a powerful story. And so it's really upsetting when I watch Sophietti undercut that challenge from the get-go, right? She's immediately, like, giving Eris a free pass before Eris has even walked up. Like, Eris isn't even fucking here, and we're already, like, signing the wedding invitations for Eris x Rudius. And she's not even here. Like, why are we making it so easy? You know? Like, have her pull up, and then have her be a stone that gets thrown into the waters, have it kind of complicate the relationships a little bit, and then if you want them to all get married, sure, but, like, at least, like, have something happen with it. Don't make it so easy. It just makes it boring more than anything. We can talk about, like, morals and shit, and, like how the communication can be bad, or, like, betrayal, or, like, Rudy's a, you know, like, sucks ass, he's a pedophile, whatever. We can talk about all that shit all we want, okay? I've talked that point to death. Nowadays, it's just like, They're lobotomized! I don't care about them! I feel like it's underused. It's, you know what I mean? It's a completely, like, on top of the other stuff, right? But yeah. Yeah. But yeah, Sarah thing was fine. Whatever. What's up, Lucy? Can we play Orsted, please? Orsted, please. Orsted. Was anything else from episode 5 I wanted to talk about? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I do not trust Aisha at all. on a character level and on a writing level, I do not trust that child. That child is up. Norn's fine. Yo, shout out Norn. Oh my god, bro. Shout out Norn. Let's be like Zenith and Lilia-san. Roxy, you're so accepted into this marriage, bro. This image, bro. It's like, bro. You know what I mean? Hey, me and my husband, we saw your vibe from across the barn. We just think you're really cool. You know what I fucking mean? Like just get me out. I don't have anything else to say. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've made my points clear. It just feels expected nowadays, man. It feels like obvious or something. And I just wanna, like, please. Even the turning point is obvious. Isn't that crazy? Like, the amount of, like we know something's, where none of us are gonna be caught off guard by what goes wrong, because they're obviously building up to that. And they are being like, oh yeah, aren't we just living in our hero academia? I sure hope there's no villains out there. Good thing that we have each other. Yeah, like they keep looping on that, right? It's looping and looping and looping and looping, and they're like, it's just so obvious that shit's gonna go wrong, because it has to, you know. And so like it feels like expected in that way. But there are cute moments. Okay, Norn's the goat. I fucking love Norn. And then Zenith, I really like what they're doing with Zenith. I think the whole, like, brain damage, like, kind of Alzheimer's-esque thing is really cool. I like watching her slow development. I'm actually invested in Zenith. Right. Elena Lee's Cliff, I don't know, whatever. The threesome thing, I don't care. I just don't care about Rudy and the wives at all, but, like, at least Zenith and Norn I care about a good amount. Like, if Zenith and Norn get their heads cut off, like, now that would be tragic. Would I be willing to sacrifice Zenith and Norn for plot? I think I would be. And it would kill me, but at least, like, let me die, right? Like, that's the big difference. Don't you understand? Like, me being in pain, this is what I've learned. I've learned that pain is actually a good thing. This is what Eris taught me, okay? The comparison of the end of season 1 to, like, these first 5 episodes have taught me pain is good because it's something, okay? And something is better than nothing, okay? And watching fucking Roxy and Sophie and Rudius talk about, like, threesoming each other for, like, 3 episodes straight, and, like, with, like, very little conflict, like, minimal to no conflict. The minimal is Sophie Yeti sounding kind of jealous that one time that then nothing was used after that. Like, it was kind of, like, whatever character moment there was kind of lost to the sands of time. AKA, like, what, it was forgotten, or, like, Sophie Yeti just don't give a fuck. I don't know, who cares? But, point being, what I've learned is that I would take the suffering over, like, because it gives me something. It gives me something. And so, like, Norn and Zenith getting, like, cleaved in half by Orsted as he, like, through them, covered in their blood and organs and guts. It's like, that would be heartbreaking for me. Break my heart, dude. Break my heart, alright? If you're not gonna make it beat, then at least break it. Like, do something to me, please, dude. But if the something is me just being like if Eris shows up and they just all, like, fucking love each other, GG, then I'm just gonna be, ah! You know what I mean? Then it's just like, please give me something. I gotta, like, tweak. I have to tweak to, like, keep myself entertained. You know what I mean? And that's unlucky. That's unfortunate. Sarah thing was good, though. I didn't mind the Sarah thing. I think it was, like, I think it could have been, like, more intense or, like, whatever. There could have been, like, more kind of emotion on it, but that's not what it was trying to do. It was trying to be pretty chill, and I think I can take that for what it is, and I don't, and it's a little bit glazy of Rudius, but I'll take it. In a vacuum, I think it's fine. I think, but it's also just a contributor to general sentiment I've talked about to death, and also that one lady with the cross mark on the forehead. Yo. I mean, what happened? You want to talk about it? Anyways, on to the next. Should be exciting. Hey! Stop talking. On to the next. Should be exciting. episode of Mushoku Tensei, drop this reincarnation. Subscribe if you're new, like the video if you like the video, subscribe if you're new, blah, blah, blah. Comment down below if you have anything to say, because you know I'd be reading that. And of course, join the Discord, link in the description, to chat with me and other Mushoku Tensei fans. Also, Patreon in the description where I have full passive full audio. I usually should say that at the beginning, but I forget. So, hey, that's a little call to action there. And I'll be seeing you on the next episode. Peace.